Everyone is like really, really hungry, and so everyone wants to win.
Bombs at the halfway point. Nexa's got the kit, but the smoke doesn't cover his cross. And Sin connects to the face. Damage is on.
Oh my god!
Everyone's game changer, you're not scared about losing.
And headshots in abundance. Zywoo 2. Three. Champ is almost dead. Zywoo! And he's got ice in his veins. And he's got a tap to close it.
Vitality versus Big. In one corner of the ring, we have a former German squad, now turned international. In the other, the reigning major champions, now with a new dose of firepower, both colliding for a potential spot in the Royal Arena. And if you're Big Clan now, Jacob, you gotta be sweating a little bit, because sure, taking down OG is one thing, Vitality is a whole nother beast.
Yeah, it's on paper, it's not looking likely for Big to get away with this game and get away with a W, to be completely honest. But I think for them, just the fact that they are in this position, just the fact that they have this chance, just the fact that they're one best of three away from qualifying for the Royal Arena, I think that's quite impressive. And I think that was the sentiment of tabseN's winner interview after we saw them beat their former opponents, that they were just happy to be so far in the tournament. On paper, you look at these players, you look at the changes they've made, you look at Manto being brought in, it's not a team that is significantly better than they were before, yet they're playing some decent Counter-Strike. So going up against Vitality, expectations are low, but you know, the surprise factor, it's still available.
You said a lot of changes, and we have a lot of questions, particularly James, about the in-game leader role. What's going on there?
Gob, the OG game coming into that one, it was a bit of back and forth in there, but the main thing that's still confusing me is this whole tabseN Sin in-game leading thing. So can you just explain to me exactly how it's working so we're all clear?
At the moment, tabseN is calling, again, because it's at the moment a little bit easier for Sin, for Eli. It was a lot of input, I would say, in the start. And we are looking forward that he gets the experience right now, but focusing more on this game. And we know that tabseN can do it very good and very easy. And yeah, since then it feels very, very good. And yeah, that's why we changed it while the tournament.
So is the idea to kind of get Sin to learn a little bit as the ropes go on and give him a bit more time? Was it too much of like a quick transition?
Yeah, maybe we were hoping that not that it gets faster, but it will. It feels more natural for him. But at the moment, it feels very, very good that he calls still a lot of stuff what tabseN always needed, like a second voice to coordinate maybe a little bit the other side, giving ideas. And yeah, I think there's a good back and forth between them now.
Sin, with us learning that now you're not directly IGLing and tabseN's taking back over to give you some more time to get used to it, how does it feel for you personally? Do you think this is the right decision?
Yeah, of course. So obviously I didn't want to like start any confusion or something in the last interview, but like we're still a young team, like we're learning with every match, and yeah, it's like a work in progress. So we made the decision because obviously tabseN's like, he's a bit old now, even I would say it like that, but what comes with age is a huge experience, and it feels like this is the best way for me to learn and to use obviously tabseN's experience and like his skill as an IGL still. So it's not like we want to get out of every player the maximum, and that's the way like we decided it for now, and I think it will stay like that because it's a good learning position for me, and I'm not hurt or anything like that because everyone in this team is doing everything to win, and like there's no ego at all, so everything fine.
Okay, I'm glad we've got that cleared up. tabseN in-game meeting again.
Yeah, the German efficiency with the ruler, measuring the pad.
Gotta make sure, man.
Measuring the desk. You gotta be absolutely on point.
Optimize everything.
Optimizing.
Exactly.
Optimisierung.
Jacob, we saw tabseN optimizing his own gameplay in the last series versus OG. Started off a little bit quiet, but that's kind of weird that now he's back to in-game meeting. He's actually putting up better numbers. We didn't really expect that.
No, I guess it's tough to make the direct correlation between those two things. Sometimes you're having a good game and sometimes you're not hitting it, but I think tabseN is more comfortable right now calling himself. He can also maneuver his own gameplay around his own calls and do the plays he feels is necessary for Big to have a better chance of winning the round. So I agree with the whole reasoning coming out of Big right here. In terms of getting a result today, right here, right now, it's definitely better for tabseN to be the in-game leader, whereas for the future, slowly but surely nudge Sin into the role.
Yeah, it's a short-term vision and you cannot really fault them. You have to imagine they're one best of three away from a possible qualification to the fall finals. I can understand they would try to see that short-term, the carrot right there, very important. Yes, keep going, tabseN. Just make sure that everything is okay. You don't want to have any millimeter. Maybe I can go and help him. We'll see. We'll have to decide that. But look, listen, outside of the heroic debauchery where they probably won 12 or 13 rounds in the whole best of 3, they've always been resisting. They've always fought through every single game. We're talking even against Navi, the 14-16 second map. They've put up a fight. They've been resilient. They haven't given up. That's something that we can give them. There's always been some sort of spirit into the match, no matter how dirty it can get.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of the last time we saw them play.
Don't think about
Ancient
it. Don't think about
OG.
it. It's all good.
That literally sent us over the edge, Jacob. They can't be playing that against Vitality today because Vitality will definitely punish them for that.
Nah, the amount of mistakes we saw coming out of both teams, both OG and Big, is not going to work out against a team like Vitality. They're simply too good. PTSD, it was back and forth, back and forth. You look towards the quality Vitality have. And I know that last time we saw them play, it was a rather disappointing performance against NIP, but overall, it's still the team that won the major a couple of months ago. They still have the best player, undisputed in the world right now, in ZywOo on their lineup, and I still think FlameC is an upgrade in terms of firepower and everything else when you compare him to Debris. So let's be honest, it's the world number 2 taking on the world number 37, I believe, right now. So yes, there should be no fight, and Vitality are looking to win this game without a doubt.
Obviously, this game shocked everybody, and myself included, Team Vitality included, a whole lot of disappointment after this performance. It was an ugly performance with Vitality that showed probably the worst phase that we have seen in quite a while. But I will just put this idea out there. When you see how easily they won their first few maps of this event with Flames, if you ever gonna have to get a smack on your face, might as well be now. Cologne is running around the corner.
Yeah, true.
This is an alarm sign that gets you back on Earth. And remember, hey, as good as the lineup you have, as strong you can be, if you play like ass, you get spanked. That's exactly what happened against NIP. So maybe, just maybe that was the moment to get that little alarm.
Well, let's go ahead and check in with the man on our screen. It's Apex with a few thoughts ahead of this series.
Apex, we can talk about Vitality having an off day against NIP, but I want to touch specifically on the Mirage game where you guys were getting the opening kills, you were getting the clutches, and it was still a map where you can't close it out. For you, how disappointing is this kind of loss?
Well, I think overall we played pretty bad. We couldn't win any pistol. We were, I think, 0-6 the whole game, and we had some issues in that game that should never happen. So I was really disappointed in the way we played. But that was still a close game, so we know that if we could have played just a bit better, we would have won. So that's just all about getting back to the right mentality to be able to win the next one.
And in terms of that, right, looking at what you have as a team right now, we still consider Vitality to be one of the best in the world, even with one player change. Can you explain how much of a change it makes, or do you not think it was even down to just having one player change and this was just you guys as a unit?
Actually, just all the habits we created together with Peter. I think, we played 1 year together with the whole squad. So obviously, when you change one player, obviously, FlameZ is a really good player, but he needs time to adapt to everything, to do small details. We also didn't have much time to prepare together. So it's also tough to know what he really likes, when he doesn't want to do, and that kind of stuff. So it just takes time. I think we could have still win with him being not in this best shape last time. So now it's all about how much we want it and how we're going to adapt to the game today.
In terms of adapting to the game today, Big is still quite an unknown team in terms of what they're going to throw at you. But realistically, this is one where I don't expect you guys to play scared like I saw a little bit on NIP. Is that a conversation you guys have had?
Of course, we really want to take our revenge today because we played really bad and we don't want to show this face from Vitality. Props to them also to NAP to play a good CS, but I think we didn't play good. So today, it's the redemption day, and we really want to qualify for the fall finals. In Copenhagen, we missed it last year, and it's a really important tournament for us. So we're gonna give our best and having the right mentality today to get the win.
Ooh, I'm liking the Anubis pick coming out of Big. That's a nice little nugget going into things. Just speaking of that game versus NIP for Vitality, even with ZywOo popping off, he was the only man that we really saw as a shining light on the side of Vitality, unable to win a map.
I just kind of want to cast some spotlight on ZywOo, because you're right, he was playing lights out against NIP, and yet NIP was still able to win. You're looking at the best player in the world right now, and it's not even a conversation anymore. Sure, you could have Simple up there, or Nico for that matter, in the conversation, but as of late, ZywOo has just been light year ahead of everyone. Fact of the matter is, it is probably one of the last times we're going to see ZywOo play a big Counter-Strike Global Offensive tournament. Of course, Cologne coming up now, that could be the very last one. So for my money, I just want to appreciate it a little bit. This is a guy who, ever since he turned pro, has been no worse than the second best player in the world. That's his worst, that is bottom level, and he's also won the title as the best player in the world twice, and he will win it the third time this year as well. He is playing some beautiful, beautiful Counter-Strike, and I expect he will do the same today against Big.
No, I just let him talk. I just let him talk. It's just nice. It's music to my ear. I'm just appreciating. It's like someone is serving me a nice glass of Barolo. I'm just enjoying myself. keep talking, please. Take me on a journey.
I just hope we get the dish to go along with the beautiful taste of ZywOo, right? I think that's what we demand from Vitality, and it was a shame that we couldn't really see that exactly the same as Complexity or the EG game. Let's check in with our Unicorn predictions, though. I'm wondering if anybody dared go with the Bears.
Did we do it? Anders? Not even Anders? Not even Anders.
Not even Anders. He's not even that crazy.
Anders.
But later on, because Jacob, it's a battle between you and Henry G. How did you know that he was picking Na'Vi? Do you actually believe in G2?
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. It is the moment to be honest.
I don't believe in G2, but I think they can win the game, so we'll see.
Well, that's coming up later on today, but first we begin with Vitality versus Big Clan. We begin on the Temple of Anubis, Big bringing it into the mix with a chance to make it all the way to the Royal Arena for the Blast Premier Full Finals. It's going down after this break.
Ladies and gentlemen, 11 days of play culminating in the Super Sunday we find ourselves in today. We've got 2 slots remaining for the Royal Arena, 4 teams fighting out for them, and it all kicks off with Vitality playing big. Anders, have you enjoyed yourself? It's been a long tournament, ups and downs, but mainly an exciting process.
I've been spending time with you, Henry. Of course I've enjoyed myself.
Yeah,
it's been wonderful.
You're a sweetheart.
I really think it's been beautiful. It could be a bit of a slaughter at the end here. The odds certainly suggesting that Vitality are the heavy favorites. We probably assume as much. I can't even win the prediction game, so I don't even care. I was betrayed by OG And EG.
EG yesterday, although it was pretty close, right? EG had them on the ropes there for a second. It felt like G2 might slip up, but I don't know. This matchup, a similar sort of scene, I suppose. Vitality playing against Big. You got some heavy favorites here, but we kicked things off on Anubis, Anders. Now, I think that's quite interesting. We were just talking about it in the break before the game went live. It does make sense. You're a team like Big, one of the underdogs. You need to be scrappy. You need to be focusing on these lesser played maps. Now, Anubis has only been played once in the entirety of the tournament, 11 days of play. So it suggests that not everyone will be super comfortable of it coming out of the break. And so I think this is a wise idea from Big. How they'll perform is yet to be seen, but still an exciting prospect.
I like it. In the words of, Counter-Strike analyst extraordinaire Maui Snake, respect underdog. You must respect
I think you
underdog.
have to. These days, it has to be done. Ladies and gentlemen, fighting for a slot in the Royal Arena. Big take on Vitality. Starting on the T side here, the Germans will have the work cut out for them. An uphill battle to say the very least. ZywOo will draw blood first. That's toward the canals, and an advantage here for Vitality, but maybe not for long. Absolute pandemonium ensues here. Bomb goes down, but the round continues. 3-on-2 advantage for Vitality.
That has to be one of the most Apex-type plays. He just jumps right into the middle. Remember, he started his career as an entry fragger.
It's true.
So he knows what that is all about. Just the run-and-gun nature. It never goes away. Leaves Krembo, unfortunately, alone on the B-bomb side. Well, not on the B-bomb side, but heading a little bit away, in fact. The bomb is in the middle. He wanted to probably get there with the bomb, but ultimately slowed down. I don't know how you recover this round. As long as Vitality keep it cool, it should be maybe not impossible, but close. Close to impossible. In that area.
Not quite as catchy of a title as Mission Impossible.
No.
Almost impossible.
It's a very difficult mission, in fact.
Mission improbable.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you're right. Krembo won't have many options here. Bomb down in an unenviable spot. Drop down towards the water, just hoping he can pick someone off. Work with the 35 seconds remaining. You see they're giving him nothing to work with, though. That's the first interaction. Takes the brunt of damage here. He's got a flashbang at least, and down he goes. Apex with 3 kills in total. Jumping down from the window. Shutting down the B split, and Big don't get even near the plant. So $2,000 per player. I would say a 4-spy is likely. Here's the replay of Spinks getting stuck in. And speaking of which, Apex as well. That's a brave maneuver, Anders.
It is, but it secured so much of the round for them, and obviously don't know if there's anything Krembo could have done at the end. So we'll just leave it alone. Go into the second round where we're going to see 1 Tech-9, 3 Deagles, 1 Scout on the Big side of things. They obviously do not get the bomb plant, but they can still do something in the round.
Oh, absolutely. Mantle on the Scouts, looking to inflict some damage here if possible. First shot will rattle off, confirming the 4-spy. CTs don't want to offer anything up here.
Sure, feelings of Man2. Obviously, we talked about at the beginning, he's been sort of a year out of the mix, and now he's back in.
I've been quietly impressed, I suppose. Wasn't expecting much. I will say, I don't think he's the guy. You want to change the entirety of the formation of the squad in terms of language. I wouldn't say that was the move I would make, but in terms of his individual form and the way they're talking about this team and how they're building it up for the future, yeah, I think he's a pretty cool addition. He seems to be holding his own and keeping up, which is all you can ask for really in these early stages.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been a very different story, right? You come back after a year and people say, yeah, we can really tell he's been out a year. Like he looks a bit worn down, but I agree, that hasn't really been the case. So I think that's great news.
Absolutely true. As we see Big pushing their way through towards middle here. They still have the majority of the utility. 3 smokes, one of which has been deployed now. ZywOo just holding the incendiary, waiting for a bit of intel. And slow down the attack in towards that A-bomb site.
25 seconds. This is really running the clock down low, but it could be done, especially if they find the kill, and they will. ZywOo goes down. Still 2 people on the B-bomb side, but they are getting put under some pressure already. Down to 13 seconds now. They need to move so quick, but you know what? They open it up. They get the kills. They're going to get the bomb plant behind it. And Magus and Apex, they are so far away. I don't even know if it's worth it for them to try and retake this.
Yeah, I think you might be onto something there, Anders, as there's not really much they can do. 4 on 2. This B split works out much better for them. Focusing towards middle. Whistling the clock down to about 40 seconds. Committing through the smoke that they threw. ZywOo didn't see it coming, caught with the grenade in his hand. tabseN catches him with the deagle. They commit towards the B bomb site, and then it all falls apart. Momentum built up. Vitality can't hold on. 3 kills found. A double for Sin, who has been confirmed now not to be the in-game leader of this tournament. So they are trying to move away from tabseN as being the captain, allow him to focus on his fragging, which it's about time, I suppose. Like, he is an exceptional player.
He really is. It's been we've always talked about it, I think, in more of a negative light, saying, think of what tabseN had to give up to try and save German Counter-Strike. Which in a way is admirable, but at the same time, tabseN at one point could have been considered one of the best riflers in Europe, or maybe in the world. He really was super sick.
About 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
Like, he was superstar potential, that's for sure. So a force buy in response here. Vitality will have a FAMAS from Aegis, a Sphinx MP9, and an Apex M4. Safe in the previous round, of course. And we'll see what kind of approach Big will be delivering here in round number 3. For now, focusing the majority of their efforts here towards the A bomb side. We've got Crimbo, one of the star fraggers of the big roster, just investigating A main, just pushing any CT vision back. And that's a beautiful shot. How's tabseN pulled that one off? tabseN rattles off a bullet from the Desert Eagle, will find Apex.
Got picked off in the early stages of the last round towards CT spawn. It's really rare that you get to see ZywOo make really any mistakes on any level, but he did just slip up in one moment there and they hunted him down. But he's back with some revenge. That's a bomb on the ground. Magus is there with the FAMAS as well, and this is getting a little bit too dicey now. I don't like this. ZywOo's back with another shot, and he spotted someone up in the back line. He gets one more headshot in. He's absolutely decimated Big. 3 kills. Forget the mistake of the previous round.
Yeah,
this is what he's all about.
That is very nice indeed. Excellent work from ZywOo, what we've come to expect from this young man. Yeah, get hyped. That is massive. Stealing the round away. Let's enjoy these perfect deagle shots here. Mantu couldn't believe it. Standing on a swivel as well, back towards middle. Delivering headshots at every step of the way. So no bomb planted there. Vitality find success with a force buy of their own. Now the ball is in Big's court. Do they want to force buy back? tabseN, they'll seem to think so. Buys up the first AK. Could just go for a single AK into a half buy otherwise, but time will tell. Most teams like to humor the force buy wars. But 4 Glocks for now. Well, there it is. Mantu will join them.
Really been a feature of this tournament, buying the 1 AK or even the 1 M4.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of that happened.
That's been the headline for me, the CT Hero M4. Now, we haven't seen that in the first, since like 2015, like when Hero AK started to become a thing, it was never a Hero M4. So yeah, that's really interesting. It's actually been working out quite nicely as well, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's just a little bit more dangerous. There are ways to convert those rounds, definitely. But as you pointed out, Big do kind of follow up the rest of it. They do actually invest into the round. Timeout, I think, was called from Vitality. So probably we've seen some of these games where you keep trading rounds back and forth. So even if it's really early on, it makes sense, I think, for Sonic to say, let's make sure we don't give this round back. Let's just lock it down.
Yeah, these formative rounds are very important in the grand scheme of things here. It's your map pick. You've lost against a force buy. It'll be a difficult round coming up. Why not? And wow, okay, well, they've been fed a couple of kills here. They can't believe that luck. Slowing it right down. Vitality playing inquisitive Counter-Strike, hunting for that information at B main to kick things off here, get a lot more than they bargained for. It's an early 5-on-3 in favor of Big. They've got dark control as well with 2 players. They can just contact play this in towards the site, and it would be difficult to lose it at this stage.
They just need 1 quick kill to enter with. Even if they just get traded, they should be fine getting into the bomb side. I think you're absolutely right. Vitality in a bit of trouble here. Still plenty of time on the clock for Big, and that's a long, drawn-out spray. ZywOo saves a bullet for Process. That's quite remarkable. Magus has kind of shown up in the meantime. Bomb being planted down in front, but he can't do anything about it. Mantu's going to be able to find him a 3rd kill for him in the round, and it's Big to tie up the game. So timeout didn't really help out.
Was that literally the last bullet for ZywOo?
I think it was.
I'm not sure, but either way, it was a very impressive follow-up frag there. Wasn't enough, unfortunately. Yeah, 1 bullet.
What a rat.
One bullet in the magazine and still has a presence of mind just to go, right, you know what? Need to slow this spray down, go for the tap now.
Who needs more than a bullet, really?
Oh, definitely not ZywOo. As we will see a force buy once again. Back and forth we go, ladies and gents. Single M4.
By the way, outside of that B-bomb side, this is something Vitality, I don't know if they fell into it, but it definitely, when you throw that flashbang to go for the peek like they did, the double peek outside, if the T's are doing what they were doing, which is hiding so that they're not getting flashed, all you're doing with that flashbang is signaling that you're peeking. And if you stick around and keep going forward, exactly what happened probably will happen, which is that they know when to peek. They have such great information because of your flashbang. So a little bit risky potentially. It did backfire on them. Mantu with a good shot right at the edge.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. 2 opening picks once again make it 3. As now just Magisk remains. This is a force buy that won't find a damn thing here. So that's going to be it. Has to be the full eco going forward for Vitality, as Big will go up 4-2. They're 3-2 right now, but you can't even justify a P250 on the CT forces right now. So a bit of a timeout from necessity, really, for Vitality here. Not really anything you can do with this round, Anders. You can go for like a mid-push, an A-stack, something like that. We'll see.
Oh, heartless. Yeah, that's a good point. Right when this came out, I had a lot of criticism about this map because I thought it was so T-sided that it was almost not fit for competitive play.
Right.
I think I've changed my tune a little bit on that since, and actually Vitality, one of the teams that initially became quite good at showing that you can do a bit of CT side aggression.
Well, the one game that sticks out of my mind here for Anubis, it would have been back at Pro League when FaZe Clan got 14-1 on their T side of Anubis and then ended up losing to Vitality in regulation after going 15-0.
Yeah, I remember.
So, I don't know. It doesn't really back up your point, per se. That was when, I guess... The thing is, it doesn't really get played that much. It's very difficult to track the meta and where it's evolving to. Like you said, this tournament, 11 days of play, 2 best of 3s a day, sometimes more. It's been played once.
Yeah,
so
that's surprising.
We don't really get the data. I hope at Cologne it's dropped in a bit more. But I mean, understandable, I suppose, after Roster Mania. It's not a mainstay in terms of the map pool.
Maybe it is because of like the looming shadow of Cologne that we're not seeing it here, that a lot of people are saying, let's try and see if we can keep it away. Let's see, maybe we have improved, maybe we've come up with something tricky. Just something that I remember from Vitality when they are playing good CT sides on this map is, one, they try to go for the double push outside of B like they did, which was punished in the previous round, so that's a little bit of a shame. But the other power that they have is leaving aggressive ZywOo in the A hallway, like going all the way out into a little market area.
Yeah, getting him in position so he can anchor.
So aggressive in that forward position. So that could be another luxury that they can have. That way you can have 2 middle, 2 B, maybe 3 B, 1 middle. You can have a lot of different setups for it. So,
well, here we go. We're off to the races. Vitality have resources once again. It's round number 7. They're on the back foot, though. Not a single helmet. No AWP. And no kits. So a difficult buy even after the full eco here. This is the map pick of Big. And they have come out on top in the force by wars. Even middle open at the start here. Vitality is deploying the smoke. Keeping them guessing. Don't want to be part of the fight. Very difficult to really have impact. Fighting from the CT huts. You can see ZywOo's back in the A-con. Just patrolling it. It's getting intel, not committing to the fight.
No, yeah, you said no diffuse kits. That's definitely something that is a bit of a concern. And the grenades are already quite low on the CT side as well. We're just under a minute now. And mid-control being attempted for Big. They would love to sneak a couple of players in there. They got Process on this side. The bomb still with the majority of the team here, but they could turn this into a B split.
Big grenade. Good lord. Tabson. It's a phase full of shrapnel. And they're trying to go for the B split here, Anders. But bear in mind, no one's at towards B main, so could actually fall back in towards A. Tabson just trying to show a little bit of presence, and he'll go down. And they'll go through A connector at this point, but the CTs are more than ready for this one.
Yeah. Ooh, there we go. Sin will get the one, actually, a double. ZywOo came off that shot a little bit early. Still looks like it's going to be okay. 10 seconds here for the 1 versus 2. I don't think Crimbo can do too much, although he's going to hunt it down. That's impressive. He still has time for the plant. He's not going to fake it. Goes straight for it. Spinks is already out, moving close. Crimbo, is the smoke going to pop just in time, right in front of him? Or he might have been dead right then and there. I don't think he realizes that Spinks is already out. This is a big issue, and he's going to get shot in the side. Otherwise, closer than I thought. Crimbo actually making a round of it.
Well, it'll be interesting to follow the thread as to how Vitality hold middle as well. Like, that time leaving it completely open, not showing any presence there whatsoever. It's just ZywOo in the A connector, and you can see they play 3 towards B at the start. They feel pressure towards middle. Apex is peeling off from the temple position, and they're holding the splits from there. So this is the reaction. Apex has already gone down. They're covering those B splits. But just interesting to see whether Big will realize that mid is essentially free, and they can exploit that area a little bit more. And they didn't get any pushback there until they made their way towards connector. But it's going to be a pretty clean round for Vitality. Good job to get the plant down in the end, but it will be 4-3 overall.
Did you catch how Magisk knew that Sin was outside of the B or the A bomb side? It wasn't clear to me if he'd been spotted, but he was very clearly checking the little...
Yeah, I'm not sure.
There's some little basket out there that he was hiding behind. That looked like very, intentional kind of checking, like he'd already spotted or heard him. But either way, they're going to put some pressure on. And it's ZywOo in this forward position like I talked about. He's so crisp. Behind the pillar, 3 big kills, swings a little bit wider. And Mantu will take him down, but it should be the end of the round here.
You would think so. Yay, Rush. Trying to tackle the AWP of ZywOo, but they get a lot more than that. 3 kills found upon entry. Crimbo and Mantu left to pick up the pieces here, but unless Mantu gets a couple of picks, this round is over. Might as well see what you can do with it. There's a minute on the clock. Bombs down. Crimbo watching the extremities for any potential flanks here. But as mentioned, this is all on Mantu. Flashbang catches him fully as well.
He's been given a lot of space. I mean, this is a bit risky. Look at how far in he can sneak before, because no one wants to peek him. No one's looking, so he's just going to be able to step that deep in. Crimbo with a good spray. Suddenly it's doable. Mantu gets a shot. And Spinks, he's up there. Mantu has the right idea and still got 35 seconds. If they lose this round, Vitality, this first half is going to be put into huge doubt all of a sudden. He's getting a bit closer. Again, just like last time, Spinks is sneaking out. He's in the right position. And he clutches it again. Back-to-back 1v1s that have been won by Spinks here.
Well, that was a 4-on-2 in favor of Vitality, and they had the bomb as well. The fact they get so close is a little bit alarming there. He didn't have to work too hard for those frags either. And it started off with 3 magnificent frags. A 5-on-2 essentially, Anders. It comes down to the 1v1. Lovely shots from Mantu, but it should never be that close. I think we can all agree on that. Tapson has brought out the PP Bizon. Now, he is playing the French here.
Yeah?
But this is ridiculous. Like, who buys a PP Bizon ever?
It sends a signal, you know?
It's got to be a misfire. It's considered to be like the worst gun in the game, if you're not aware, but it has got 64 bullets. Ones that won't be realized this time, as Tapson will be dropped. A noble effort. But the opening kill goes in favor of Vitality. And we did say middle will be interesting as to see whether they will all run out bullets there. Magisk actually had a bit of a freebie. So now they are adjusting their setup. Not going to give them mid for free each and every time.
Yeah.
And that's a firm reminder as we go into the 4-on-3. Sin with the AK-47. Crimbo on a Deagle. Bomb down middle. There it is.
Listen, I think... What if they beat them with it? Vitality, they're going to be in shambles if that happens. 3 people on the CT side of the middle. Still 1 in here, but somehow, again, Vitality have kind of given up the lead. Now, at least Spinks is going to be good for the kill. He seems to be a reliable source for Vitality winning rounds at the moment. Crimbo picking out the bomb and making a run for it. We've got about 35 seconds left. He's headed towards the B bomb site, finally.
Will it be wide open? So it's the correct place to go. Gives him a fighting chance here now. Really comes down to what kind of plan he goes for. Does he want to leave it open towards CT spawn, get on the balcony? Just goes for the default plants and suggests he could go towards B main. Going against the grain here. So he can't even see the plan. He's hunting for a kill here, Anders.
I like this.
Is he wrapping temple, maybe?
I feel like there are not a lot of good positions to go if you're in this bomb site when you're in this 1 versus 2. So I kind of like the idea that he's moving a little bit away from the site itself.
You wouldn't anticipate him to be here.
No,
Logic dictates he wouldn't be in this spot.
They don't have a kit either. Oh, if he gets this kill, it might be it. Oh, but he can't get back in time. ZywOo able to pick up the kill, and they go straight for that defuse. If he could have got the shot and actually went back around the corner, you're going to be able to hear on the bomb here. There's not that much time left. They would have had maybe 1 or 2 seconds to hunt him down, so that their shot had to come through right then and there. Fair play. He almost had it.
Crimbo knows he fumbled that one. Like, I wouldn't even say fair play. Like, you've been given so much space there. You've gotten for the perfect plant. How you're not converting that frag from Temple, I have no idea.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question.
You're right, but like, if he gets that kill, he wins the round. He knows it as well. I think everyone on the team knows it. Like when they got that 10-second defuse as well, and there was, what, 1 second left on the 10-second defuse?
Yeah, Gobi knows it.
He didn't even have to pull the trigger on that kill at Temple. He could have just stayed alive.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
So they weren't looking at him. There was a bit of a whiff, but that certainly isn't, says Spinks. He'll answer back.
Mr. Consistent so far in this game. Every time he's in a fight. I think he's won every single fight he's been in so far. 2 clutches. He got a double in the middle last time, I think. Now he's back with the double here. He's doing all the work. And it's a 5-on-3. Vitality, they seem to be, you know, happy to throw away these leads, but these should be the rounds that they can pick up pretty easily. There've been so many of them that end up, you know, still back in 2v2s or 1v1s. You want to see a team of Vitality's caliber close these rounds.
What have we seen from Vitality so far? They played the North Americans, right? They had the best start to this tournament you could really hope for, playing EG and Complexity. Dispatched them both. Convincing 2-0s. Vitality looked like the most convincing team at the tournament. They then lost to NIP 0-2, Anders. Now, no one saw that coming. Like, everyone thought Vitality, with Flames coming in, just going to be on cruise control now. It's going to be running away with the tournament. But a fly in the ointment and a disappointing 0-2 of that. NIP didn't look too good before that game, to be honest with you. They were kind of all over the place.
That was really shocking, wasn't it?
They almost lost to EG, for example. But yeah, this was...
What's happened?
I actually don't know. I was talking over this round because it felt like it was completely over.
It should have been over. It looked like it should have been, but Crimbo's back with a triple. This is a 5-on-3, and now it's a 1 versus 3 instead. Vitality, this is unforgivable. Why are they giving up rounds where they have double leads?
Yeah, they have these huge advantages. Like we saw it before on the A-bomb side where they got away with it, the 1v1. But another 5-on-3 where Spinks has done so much good work to get those opening frags and you get nothing afterwards. You don't even do any damage. Crimbo,
fair play to him.
3 kills. Yeah, that was excellent. Like, don't get me wrong, but how does that happen?
I mean, the fundamental theory, once you are 1 or 2 people up and you're on the CT side, is you should be able to set up some trade positions. So even if you're just trading 1 for 1 all the way through the rest of the round, just by basic mathematical deduction, you're going to be fine. Right? You're going to come up with a 1 or 2 man lead at the end of it, depending how it starts. But
well, Crimbo may have fumbled that 1 versus 2, but he comes out on top in the 5 versus 3. That is absolutely remarkable. So it all started toward the dark room. Spinks goes down. They're trying to... That was the moment, I suppose. Maybe still obviously didn't have to jump down like that. That's such a high-risk maneuver, as we discussed before. If you go down, dropping from window, and then you end up losing the 5-on-3, like that suggests, yeah, maybe you overstepped the mark there. So yeah, that replay kind of summarizes it quite nicely. That's how you lose it. Just trying to close out the round quickly, find trades or force trades that aren't required, and it will be big. Turning up the heat as we go 5-5 here. There is a buy available, but compromises to be made. No saves in the previous round lead them to FAMAS's 5-7s. They've got a ZywOo AWP. And I assume there's a gun available for Flames. He'll just have to make do with the Deagle. So all of a sudden, these very impressive starts to rounds keep crumbling. As ZywOo looks to recover the situation. Will the AWP be the remedy to that problem? To FAMAS might be. That's the bomb going down. Great stuff from Apex, and he's got away.
Yeah, that's
Oh, no way.
God, he was gone, wasn't he, Henry? He had escaped.
No way.
But then he hadn't.
He was in the connector, knife out, jumping around the corner.
What a find.
He was done. He was out. And they dragged him back in. As we'll see Crimbo get the intel as to where Mage is positioned towards a fountain spot. And it's ZywOo now. He had all the firepower here. locked out by the Flames, now the smoke as well. This is looking grim.
Oh, nice HG. That's going to soften them up quite a bit. 3 versus 3 in a bomb plant in the A bomb site. Obviously no kit because they just did not have the money for it, so going to be potentially quite a hard retake. A little boost there. Would have been fun if someone would have walked in on the other side, but not going to be the case. It starts out well, though. Flames to take down process. Sin trying to stay alive. He's only good for the 1 kill. Leaves Mantu pushed out of the site. But once again, it's a 10-second defuse. Now, they're going to smoke it off in a big way to try and see if they can put some pressure on Mantu here to go for the peak. He's heard it on the other side. The spray is good. Can he find it? Still 5 seconds left. He's out of bullets. The Glock is there. And because of the double smoke, he has no idea what that defuse is happening. It's such a wide smoke, and it's a full 10-second defuse.
Yeah, got lost in the sauce there a little bit. Not really much he could do. They did very well to bring that round back into a winnable situation. A 1 versus 1 again. This time, Vitality coming up on top with the 10-second defuse. You're right, the smoke made it very difficult to handle. This was the force buy as well from Vitality. All the Schmeckles invested as Flames. Great kill, and then the Glock, when it's brought out, you know you're done for.
Yeah.
He's still at 100 HP at that stage, and we will have cash available, at least for Big here.
You know, one of those 2 smokes is one that Saiwu didn't use to stop the Molotov that was thrown against him earlier. So, kind of an interesting little thing. He saved that smoke, and he was allowed to use it for the double on the defuse. It's actually very... I'm not suggesting that CT size should always have 2 smokes for a defuse, but obviously if you do, it's so much harder for the T to try and guess where you're defusing at.
So, we have had the initial frag. It's Flames that goes down. Courtesy of a Mantu orb. They went for that B push once again. Seen it a couple of times. Hasn't really worked out for Vitality. They've inflicted some significant damage, but find themselves in the 5-on-4 process. Holding toward that dark position here. You can see Spinks playing for Intel. Smoke in hand. And 55 seconds remaining here. So, got to start pushing in towards middle. Could go to either bomb side. They got Crimbo watching for the A pushes. Mansu looking for B.
Running the clock down a little bit low. Not necessarily a nightmare yet, but 35 seconds. They are going to go for it.
A completely open here.
Spinks, everything to do at the moment. It's a pretty good kill to begin with, but the pressure is definitely on. 3 people, a 4th one that could be rotating in from the middle and side with 22 seconds. They're really slowing it down big, and it might come back to haunt them. Bomb is on the ground, and the FAMAS just doing excellent work. Magisk with the double, Spinks with the double, and that will get the job done.
A scrappy round, Anders, but indeed the job is done. Mansu will have to save the orb once again, as there's no way of breaching the B bomb site. Well held, Spinks especially staying alive when he absolutely had to with the FAMAS there, getting a kill, slowing them down with the utility, joining the crossfires, and establishing a very strong crossfire in towards B. 7-5, Vitality take the lead here on their opponent's map pick. That was the opening frag there, so that's a 5-on-4 they've recovered. As mentioned, Spinks getting that initial kill, joining his teammates, delaying as long as possible. Once a bomb goes down, there's nothing that can be done. So Mantu does save the sniper. Yeah, let's go. But Deagle's otherwise.
Did Sonic pick up, was it Spink's hand to give himself basically a high five?
I missed it, but that does sound plausible.
Can we get the replay of that? I'm curious if that really happened, or if maybe I'm hallucinating. That's also possible, Henry. I'm not going to rule that out. 7-5. What do you make of this? It's been a chaotic start, but I mean, Vitality surely are doing okay at the end of it.
Like we said, it's considered to be a T-sided map, Anders. So the fact they're in the lead right now, your opponent's pick. A lot of these rounds have been chaotic, as you mentioned. The way bigger landing shots, these rounds are going to fall apart from time to time. This could be one of them. An A-split is being established here. Magisk is alone. But they offer their backs to him, so they're going to have to commit right now. They're going to be making their way in towards the A site. Looks like the job is done because that's 2 kills on entry. The retake here, incredibly difficult on the A bomb site. You can see there's very narrow choke points coming in from the middle area to smoke down. Makes it impossible. So yeah, the Caesars have to call this one off. Wow. It's the Deagle headshots that open things up towards A. And there we go, 7-6, and Big will keep 4 members alive as well. Finding a couple of rifles. Maintaining the AWP here. This is a very, very nice outcome for them.
Yeah, bit of a stretched out arm here for Big. You've got to appreciate that. How do you, I mean, right now it's Crimbo and Mantu that are doing most of the work. I think there are like 14, 13 kills separately. So that's sort of this majority of the kills that are coming out right now. But
well, those are the big headline names, right? Crimbo especially. Yeah. Mantu just joining the team as Yorpa. You want him to have significant impact. Throughout his career was known as more as a passive AWP player, I suppose. Didn't have the flair or the sort of opening frag potential as players like ZywOo, for example. But at this tournament, it seems like he's taking matters into his own hands a lot more, and he is being a bit more assertive than what he's known for, and landing the shots as well, converting these peaks into opening frags. So we'll see if he can keep it up. Very clutch as well. Round 14, and Vitality will be bringing everything they've got to the table after losing the previous round, and fast pacing from Process here. They've got the early smoke down towards Dark. See Spinks not leaving anything to chance here, watching it, making sure that no one can gain access to the dark room here.
Huge opportunity right now if you're Big to make this an 8-7 half. At least win the half, because there is really no money left on Vitality. So you've got that working for you. But obviously you need the entry. We'll see. Process getting very close. He's going to catch Flames. Not just looking the wrong way, but with a grenade just pulled out. And that's the B-bomb side wiped out.
Yeah, that's really nice from Process there. Like we said, the dark room, very important part of the map there. They allow it to go under T remit for a few seconds there. And Process spotting the gap. Leaps out, finds one kill, round over. Just as they're executing as well, as the smokes are mid-air. That's when he pounces. Flames had knife out, no idea is a possibility. And yeah, it's a very clean round. You can see why Big potentially shows this map. They've got some nice little set pieces. Very fast round there. Good smoke down towards Dark. And you just need one kill to find a guaranteed round. You know you've done something very well indeed. So round 14 is going to tie things up, and it's 7-7. No blowouts here today.
No, I feel like that's been another feature of the game that we've seen a lot. Even when there are leads, we brought it up a couple of times. A lot of the halves do end up 9-6, 8-7. Like, it's a lot closer. It's kind of hard, much harder to get those very one-sided scorelines at the moment, it feels like. So maybe not too surprising, even if everyone in the world seems to be agreed that Vitality is going to end up winning this match. Big are putting on some real effort into this, which I appreciate.
Well, here we go. Who will be taking the lead at halftime, ladies and gents? Remember, one slot available for the Royal Arena from this best of 3. Loser goes down to the showdown. And let me tell you, you don't want to be there. A couple of FAMASs. Flames and Magisk will have to get by with the lesser weaponry here. It is Process once again, Anders, trying to break in towards the dark room. He did a very good job in the previous round. I'm sure Spinks will be a little bit more alert this time.
Yeah, he seems to be the guy that they could really rely upon. Spinks at the moment. Cyber as well, up to 12. For him, maybe not the most impressive scoreline, but enough to have an impact in the half so far. He's going to get taken down from Mantu at the start of this round, so maybe a little bit more unfortunate. 4 versus 5 as the round continues, and Crimbo slowly but surely checking out this side of the map. Magisk, uncomfortable position to be in with the FAMAS especially. Maybe a bit different if you can play with the M4 around that position. But the FAMAS just different kind of stopping power. They're really gambling on this. They leave almost entirely A and mid open to
be the right
triple
call.
Stack the B.
Yeah, it actually looked like this could work out for them as well. Spinks has got to take all the aggro. They'll be focusing towards this platform, but will they anticipate multiple members here?
Good couple of kills in return. Spinks, he's down. And the question, like you said, are they anticipating for the last one to be there? They're not. Apex comes walking right in. It's an easy shot, but he can't do more than that. He needed the double, or he needed to buy time for Magisk, and he was never able to. And this is going to be obvious. They're going to know that he's retailing. They might not know he's extending from this position. It won't matter in the end. Crimbo back with another headshot. And in the end, Big end up winning the half. 8-7. That's quite something.
Hello everyone, this is Magisk, and today I'm analyzing just one round. So let's go. And this is Inferno, and this guy is probably an Eps player because he's rotating library. And he is going Eps, I can see. Oh, He's starting out with a big smiley. Molotoving apps on timing, and now he probably hears that they're executing on A, and one guy is calling they're rushing long, so I decide to rush down with a Molotov. And I can see this is me because on the skins, it's pretty obvious that it's myself, but I think the decision to jump down balcony and going for a Molotov is a little bit crazy because it doesn't really make sense, but I can see that on the radar, they're getting contact on long, so he has information that they're going long, and that is why I wanted to try and catch them off by going through their own Molotov, and I think that's still a little bit of a gamble, I would say, even though it's worked out pretty well. There is always a gamble when you jump down like that when they're taking mid and perhaps rushing A, because one guy could have been peeking me short, and you know, sometimes in Counter-Strike you have to take gambles, and I was reacting in 1 millisecond to information that they're going long. So I think overall I would say it was a good play, but also a bit of a risky play. And then I died.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You are watching Blast Premier, 4 groups where we see Big playing Vitality here for one of the last slots remaining in the Royal Arena. It's the first map, the pick of the Germans, and are up 8-7 here, Anders, as they bring out 7 guns to operate with on their CT side pistol. Dualies are out.
You a fan of the dualies yourself, Henry?
I kind of like them. They suit my playstyle. I like to spam the pistols a lot. So for me, it's great. Like, the only problem with them is when you're tapping in the back, it seems that they fall off completely. Like, it's the worst weapon to use at range.
Okay.
Like, it feels really uncomfortable.
All right, but up close,
Oh, yeah.
smoke,
CT side.
maybe like this.
Like this, that's an ideal opportunity to mow them down. Only finding 1 kill. Tabs will make up for it, though, finding them yet another advantage. 4-on-2 as Magiskin. Apex will be pretty far removed from the equation here. Bombs down. Need quick frags, but getting nothing done here whatsoever. Magis will actually get a bit of a double. Surely they wouldn't let him back in.
He wanted the reload in the corner. I like that from Sin, though. He actually went and hunted him down and made sure it didn't happen. I think Tamsin got a triple at the end of it. I think a lot of confidence in Apex. He ran in with the P250. He was looking for straight headshots, but never really presented. But yeah, Tamsin's doing the majority of the work in this one. Well done.
Magis with a couple of nice shots there towards the end, but no plant. Suggests it should be the Eco going forward. 9-7 for Big. Eco. As Vitality just have a Desert Eagle at the top end. Magis can afford a pistol, considering he got an extra $600 from the previous round. That is about it.
We had some trading going back and forth at the beginning of the first half, which is a bit unusual, and some of it seemed to just come off the back of Vitality wanting to play very aggressive on the CT side and actually getting punished quite hard by Big. So I'm sure that now that Big are on the CT side themselves, they will do whatever they can to make sure they don't throw away this early start here, because again, historically it's been more of a T-sided map, even if it wasn't so obvious in this game so far. Possible that Vitality will still be pretty strong on the side of the map. But mostly when they get rifles, I'm assuming.
Well, got the work cut out for them now. It's going to be a 10-7 game. And we've discussed this plenty of times. Like slowing these sort of ecos down, bleeding out the utility. Every grenade has a cost, especially those incendiaries. If you can bleed those out, it will have somewhat of a knock-on effect, even if it's a little dull. To participate in this sort of round, we're going to have 5 players Vitality ending up towards A. Again, just try and bait out whatever you can. Every flash, every smoke. There's another incendiary drop towards dark. So you can see they've got no grenades left actually on the CT side. So in terms of that philosophy, Anders, job done.
Yeah.
It's not the most exciting thing to talk about, but it's important.
You know, you can triple boost through the window to look at where Crimbo is on the T side. It's doable. Not easy, but it can be done.
They got a plant here as well.
That's a surprising amount of success, isn't it, given what they brought into the round? I'm a little bit shocked to see that. MP9 also picked up. Still same. It should be fine here. The retake should be coming in rather swiftly, and it will be. Mega Scout here, flex the Deagle, maybe get a couple of shots off, or not at all.
Well, they managed to remove all the grenades. They managed to get a kill, and they managed to plant the bomb. That's a pretty decent full eco, if you ask me. And they will have a ton of cash going forward. So this is where the game really begins in the second half. Guns out for both sides. Big, allow a plant to come through. Means about $5,500 per player on Vitality. So we saw Vitality enter this sort of rounds where they had SMGs and FAMASs. They went for that B probe right at the start of the round. A little bit of aggression, trying to take the game towards Big. Didn't work out for them. We'll see if the Germans have anything similar in mind here, just to kind of set the tone for the CT campaign here. Maybe they've got a push or a set piece they can bring to the table here. Sending 4 players towards middle. So yeah, we are going to see something crazy. I love it a lot.
Here we go.
Doesn't work out for him necessarily.
No, it's not. That's shocking. I would have thought they would have caught at least a couple of more players off guard, but it didn't. Flames with a very good defense at the beginning of it. Still a 3-on-3.
Yeah, they've actually done very well to make this a round that could land in their favor. Like, the only weapons that have been dropped are the FAMAS and the MP9. Now it's just rifles. Crimbo getting a ton of information here. He's pushed out of A, up towards Rugs right now, and slowly but surely confirming they're finishing up in B.
Yeah, this kind of aggressive move I think is really critical we're making. It's a little bit like on overpass. If you can get out on the CT side, or the playground or something like that, once you push up far enough, you're really helping out your teammates a lot. Now let's see if they can hold it. Tabson, an early peek, and you're right, it is good. Even the Molotov is just segmenting the last 2 T players. Megisco, fearless, runs onto the bomb site, gets the double clear, and they're ready for the flank as well. Crimbo's got no shot. They convert that 2 versus 3 in their favor.
Oh, that's so disappointing for Big. Like we said, it would take something aggressive, something unexpected there to win the round. They go for the 4-man mid-push. It's cool. It's a nice idea. It leads into a 3-on-3 at least. And then they get all the information they could possibly ask for. Crimbo locking them in outside B, but Magisk, oh, they give him a bit too much space. He comes up on top. 2 big frags, and yeah, it was sick.
It's frustrating because you're right. Like anything else apart from that is such all the little pieces for Big are really well designed. The push out, the Molotov to segment the last 2 T players, even Tabson getting, you know, like I think one of the earlier kills in this initial 3v3. Just everything about it was lined up. Like you can play all of that correctly and then still lose the round apparently.
That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. You could have all the advantages, the correct setups, the best strategies. Counter-Strike is about clicking on the heads at the end of the day. And Magisk is very good at that, apparently, as he steals that one away. A timeout was called. We go 10-8 here. Bear in mind, this is considered a T-sided map, although we don't get to see it too often. Played once at this tournament. Deagle for Tabson. He's had to drop a weapon. He's got no Kevlar as well, so sacrificing his own round for the bigger picture. There is an awful man too. And for now, Vitality anticipating aggression once again. That is spread out. Flat default. Waiting for those B pushes. Anyone challenging the smoke towards middle? Well, Mantu is. He actually finds Apex caught off guard there just as he's throwing the grenade.
Sneaky kill, but gonna set them up in a nice position here. Neither team really with any significant amount of money, so real important that you keep this going. Deagle out on the corner. Tabson. See if he can explode somebody's head if they turn it He's ready, and there's 4 people on the other side. Kind of close range with the Deagle, obviously, since the change, which is not even that new anymore. You don't have the same immediate spam down effect. You do need to rely a little bit more on the headshots, and Tamsin will be good for the first, but again, the double entry in return. Back into a 3 versus 3. The smoke is fading. I feel like Sin should have had 1 or maybe even both of those kills, but he can't, and now the bomb's been planted. Yeah, good damage. They're all very low on health, but they don't know. Big, they're going to be walking away from this round.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. With the AWP tag there, you might be tempted to go for it, but didn't get the information. And you're right as well, Sin. That's a bit of a dream there. The smoke dissipates. 2 players in front of you. You've already committed to the spray as well. I agree. 1 kill probably should have landed in his favor, considering the damage done as well, but it doesn't work out. And Vitality, once again, picking up around. They potentially should have lost there. Looks pretty decent for Big overall, right up until that final commitment towards the B bomb side, but they will keep 3 players alive here. Close the scoreline down to just 1 round. Fortunately, though, Mansu will save the AWP. We've got Crimbo M4 as well. Loss bonus is not established whatsoever. They've got around $2,000 per player, so it means it has to be an eco, really, even though you've got a Mansu AWP and an M4 there. I'm not sure buying up into this one's an amazing idea for them. Maybe worth a tactical timeout to discuss their options. Big round. As nothing is purchased, Anders, so still possible to win this round, of course, but we'll take some high-flying antics from the likes of Man2. Looks like setting up some utility here. A smoke for the rugs area, potentially.
Well, getting a familiar experience as to the one that Vitality themselves were having on the CT side, which is you can win the early fight. Well done. And you can still lose that B bomb site so quickly. Even if you have stacked this there, it's just the positions just aren't very favorable for the CTs. And the Ts have a lot of ways to try and take those fights with. So 4v5s definitely do not guarantee a win on this particular map when you're on the CT side. Man2 still keeping the orb alive, but I feel like at this point it's more about saving it and keeping it away from Vitality, because they're going to be able to find a bomb site no matter what here.
Yeah, and they know A is completely open here. He fired off a shot towards middle as they were breaching that side, so it's a matter of time before this round concludes, I'm afraid. Man2 main objective here is just to save the AWP as Vitality tie things up 10-10. Process with just a USP. He'll just be the bodyguard here, making sure Man2 doesn't get flagged as he watches towards the beach position here for any hunting Vitality players. ZywOo is on the precipice of going for a hunt here, but is it worth it? Their money's okay. It's not amazing. They know he's got an AWP. It's unlikely they probably take him out here. Here they come. The fight will be on. I think they've got him.
If you just trade 1 for 1, it's definitely worth it. But if you lose too many players, then maybe not. Oh, another missed shot, and they will be hunting them down. Definitely worth it. Absolutely.
Yeah, the fact that you only lose 1 on routes as well, remove the AWP, makes the next round a lot more manageable. Because yes, they'll be buying, but they've got $4,400 per player by virtue of the low loss bonus here. So there's no AWP available now. It'll be like FAMASs and M4s. ZywOo finding the killing blow that opens up that A bomb site, and we tie things up in cruise control now as Vitality posting 3 in a row after losing the pistol and follow-up round. So double FAMAS. No kits. Nice sort of grenade there, actually countering the CT grenade thrown towards the steps. Doesn't connect this time.
And a little bit of a slowdown for Vitality at the start of the round. They don't really want to keep pushing. Might be thinking that there's going to be some kind of a change up for Big. They themselves did try that. They did try to push outside of the B bomb site, and yeah, maybe they're expecting something similar. Flashed into the corner. Nobody's really there. Definitely does happen that the CTs are pushing out. Actually, now we do see the double push outside of the bomb site here with a Molotov into that forward position. That's a cool idea. I like it. It's very common for a T to be hiding there, and it is actually literally what Vitality did there themselves. They were hiding in that position, and they're waiting for the flashbang, and that's when they peaked. So if you Molotov it instead, you could definitely find a kill.
Bomb's still down in T-spawn, but Apex is actually making his way through the smoke here at the A bomb site. It is shut down. Sin very aware of that possibility, and now they have the resets. I will gather the C4. Flames has got a decent position. Like, he'll have to be the linchpin of this operation. He just misses out on the kill there. Maybe Crosser spots him. Doesn't matter. He'll find the frag regardless. Not a double. Taken down. And the bomb, I think it has to go away. There's no time to retreat back towards B, and that's if they even want to go for the round.
I feel like they still will. They have one more smoke. It's on Spinks here, so he has to leave if they want to use it. 15 seconds, and that double spray down pretty much confirms the round. There's just not enough time left at the end. Mantu and Crimbo with a good hold overall, and Big still with a 1-round lead after this one, and also saving their own economy. This is a huge swing round that if they would have lost it here, Big would have given up, I think, a sizable lead to Vitality.
Well, they'll maintain the lead now. 11 to 10 in their favor. Difficult round here after losing that first pick, trying to make their way in towards A, but losing members en route. It was an interesting approach there from Apex. Like I said, the bomb was down in T-spawn. He was trying to utilize the element of surprise there, but Sin more than ready for it. Gets that opening frag, and the wheels kind of fell off at that point. He had no one behind him. They had to reset the round. Time was running low. They're taking a lot of damage, but they still have enough to buy at the very least. They don't save anything in the previous round, but they do have enough to fully invest with AKs across the board. This is another very important one for both teams here. As we get to the closing stages of the first map, the pick of Big. Anubis, only the second time he's been played in this tournament. Both teams are running low on resources here.
They really are.
Quite a convincing round in the previous. We'll go back towards middle. And you can see just that one smoke down. It's a very difficult hold on the CT side. Just to deny territory and stay alive. Challenging.
I feel like it's true for so many positions. CT positions on this map. It's just nothing is really easy.
You can't just leave it open because then they get way too much control. If you try and jiggle it and peek, you're likely taken down just like that. They've got AK-47s. It's rough. It's a very difficult position to hold. And it will be Flames capitalizing upon that initial entry. And yeah, round over. So if you feel like you can bully your way towards middle, they're not being super active, they're not bombarding you with grenades, that's a very viable approach time and time again. And now Big will have to be on high alert. That could be a potential approach going forward.
Even that peek in the middle that Sin is trying to do, there aren't necessarily very many easy positions for his teammates to throw flashes in. Like, there's no flashbang over the walls, right? You have to throw them into the tunnels, and if they bounce off the wall, then any pro player will be able to spin around pretty quickly. And if you have to throw them so they don't bounce off the wall, you're standing in a really weird position. Yes, Henry.
I can't believe he got that second one.
He's just out hunting. He's ready for it. Now they know exactly where Mantu is, and he might be top fragging in the game, which in itself is impressive. 21 kills on him, and he's going to get hunted down, and the rifle is going to be confiscated by Vitality as they tie up the game.
Yeah, we said that was an important round. Another one where both teams were fully invested. In terms of loss bonus, they're only at second stage. They're only getting $1,900 per player. 11-11. Big might need to make a wish here, but like we said, what a simple approach. Sensing the middle is not getting a ton of love here from Big. And just a 3-man walk up. Gun out. Pounce on the side, nothing that could be done, and it has to be the full eco. No two ways about it. The very top end, we've got a Deagle and a 5.7, but no Kevlar grenades are going for the mid-stack here. Like I said, Vitality have put the fear of God in them now. Being conditioned to worry about the prospect of middle. And that could weaken other areas of the map going forward.
I don't know if you're sharing this feeling, but it's 11-11, but I just feel like Vitality are more in control of this game. Maybe it's the economy, but it feels like they're just dictating the pace of this a little bit more. It shouldn't be the case. I mean, Mantu's got 21 kills, 17 on Crimbo, 16 on Sin. That's a fantastic trio to be working with. Should give them a lot of control, and Vitality, they don't have anyone answering back to that same level just yet, so going to be a free bomb site found over here, and obviously the 1-round lead going to be secured. Yeah, I'm worried that Big are going to slip up and let go of this game right at the end, or at least the map. They might just not have the money to fight it through. Mantu's going to get a kill, and yeah, you should be worried. Tabson hiding in the corner. Good read. Not much else to say about the round, really. Just padding their stats a bit.
Yeah, it's a good point. That's about it. Zai will get 3 in total, taking his frag tally up to 19. It's Spinks, Monoma 15, and we've got Mages similar total as well. Everyone at double digits, and as you mentioned, it's Mantu at the very top for Big. Love to see that, 22 kills. And then Process at the bottom at 9 and 19, but overall, not an alarming game for anyone. Love to see this. 1 round in it, everyone contributing. Mansu back on the AWP. It's been a while. Their funds have been limited to say the very least. So Zywoo challenges towards A main again. He's got that flashbang. I think he might just commit to this. Should have been the opening kill for Crimbo there, but the flashbang averting his gaze for too long. They've cracked open the site and really is down to this frag now. And Zywoo is a man on a mission, mowing down anyone that stopped him in his path, and that's another round done.
Disgusting kill, especially that first one out where the beans are outside of the A-bomb site.
The what, sorry?
The beans.
The beans.
A little tray of beans, I think, lentils. Can you make beans in an air fryer, Henry? Is that possible?
You can make anything in an air fryer. So, yes, you can. Literally anything. What would you like to make? And I'll tell you.
Ice cream, Henry.
Okay, you can't make ice cream in an air fryer. I'd like to retract the previous statement.
Corn 4K. Just lying.
So they look like either red beans or coffee beans. So these are the ones? These are the beans in question?
Those are the
legumes you're looking for? Yeah.
You found them.
Coffee beans, I would say.
Roasting in the sun, ready to go in the air fryer.
Ready to throw your coffee in the air fryer.
I bet someone's done it. Have you seen those ridiculous videos that they're only with people who are obsessed with making coffee in the most elaborate ways possible, where like every piece of equipment is like a unique thing and like has to be in titanium steel and like
coffee is another one of the things in the world I would never understand. It feels like you've got way too much time on your hands if you're really invested into coffee or wine. Yeah. Those things taste the same regardless of how expensive they are.
I'm glad, Henry.
High-end wine tastes the same as mid-wine.
Of course, Maniac is losing his mind in the game.
Yeah, I know.
But I agree. I completely agree, Henry. We're good to go.
Oh, another A rush.
This time it's Flames running in first. Oh, this is a nightmare, isn't it, for Big? If they lose the entry here, they could lose the round very quickly behind it. But Flames actually, he goes up. He's dead. Mantu, good little kill with the AWP. There's a lot of people here, but Simon, he's cracking it open. He's nearly got Tamsin. Apex continuing in low on health. He can't stand up to it. No. Sin goes down, and now it is just Process left. 1 versus 2. What a relentless push from Vitality. Once that fight started, it never ended. And now let's see. Could he get the 1 versus 2? Oh, he's already been found out, so Apex knows. Takes a couple of shots, relocates himself, and you can tell from the crosshair, Process has no idea that he was sneaking out that way. That is... They just cracked open that A-bomb site completely.
That was absolutely... fucking sick from Zywoo. Sorry, just like look at the state of this. This second kill, he's like he is in the Matrix. It's like he's in bullet time, you know. Like that's what the presence of mind to just analyze that situation, slow it right down to individual bullets. Like we've seen a couple of times in this map already.
Yeah, in the slow motion, you're like, oh,
I need to. Okay, the spray's getting out of control. I need to just pump the brakes for a millisecond. Regain control of the spray. Tap on this guy's head.
That is what it looks like.
I just don't know how his mind is operating in that manner, but Flames will be removed early this time. Opening pick for Big, and one they desperately need as well. It's 14-11 now. Bringing a half buy to the table here. 4-4 as Mansu is quickly removed. I think the AWP is recoverable, though. I think being the operative word here. Smoke is down. Spinks will spot the ex-member of Big in towards B main. The AWP has been picked up at least, so this round's not done.
Slight surprise to see Mantu not get the shot in the middle there. I thought he had him locked in, but just didn't really go his way. They're going to lose Cyber in the meantime. Still a 3-on-3, and like you pointed out, the AWP has been recovered. I think there might be an AK or 2 to pick up as well. So maybe with the AK stolen, you could do something here.
Maybe. Starting to look like we might be done here. Like if they win this round,
yeah,
sure it goes a bit further. But they've given up now 4 in a row, mainly to A rushes. And Magis will have a cracking shot there towards Dark. Not really much Crimbo can do about this split as they commit in towards the B side. The pincer is perfect. And Sin, so far removed, and might just be walking into the loving embrace of Magis here. He's got like the perfect position to deal with this. There's no way you'll be anticipating him just waiting in the corner, and I dare say Sin will just walk into it momentarily, but hold his ground for now.
He's defending the beans, isn't he? So,
oh, precious beans.
They've been lost.
Yeah, they're gone. 15-11. Pretty decent fight from Big so far. Like the fact they've kept this super close down to 1 round, the majority of the showing here on Anubis. Like it's been a close game. It's just on the C side, once they've established that middle and the A bomb side had some vulnerabilities, they were just being exploited each and every time. And I don't think anyone would disagree in terms of pound for pound fragging ability. Vitality have them bested across the board here. So sure, we've seen some advantageous moments, some nice ideas, some good teamwork from Big, but they're not ready to take down Vitality potentially. This is a very strong finish. Still a chance to take us to overtime, of course. You never know. Unlikely, though. 4 in a row required. And it all starts with a pretty compromised setup here. They are lacking some key pieces of utility, no kits. And we're coordinating ourselves back into a full B execution here. Now, we haven't seen this once. So, a new approach from Vitality to close out the game.
I think Natus seeing just a bit there, but not able to get the shot off on anyone. Definitely putting some pressure on the middle. And, I mean, they're quick to rotate right now. Those 2 people in the middle could be at the B bomb side very, very fast.
They've both gone towards A.
Oh, no, you're right. They've run away, caught with a grenade in hand as well. This is disastrous. The bomb side's getting him a run. Tabson, he basically needs a triple kill for this to even be possible, but he's going to get shot down instead. Actually, Spinks running into, I think, their own Molotov, but they're just landing every shot, and they picked the perfect time to hit this bomb side. Sin showing up to try and see if he can change the outcome of this one.
They haven't planted yet, at least.
Yeah, but they're just waiting for the control, aren't they? They want to make absolutely sure, even if the kill comes through, they stop the bomb plant once again. 1 versus 2 for Crimbo. He's going to be going down. Apex at the end to close it out. 16-11. Very good control for Vitality. They seem like they absolutely know what they're doing on Anubis still.
I actually really enjoyed that. Sure, it's the result we expected, but still, we haven't seen a ton of Anubis so far. And Big showed up. It was a 1-round game for the majority of that showing until Vitality got into 5th gear, and that could be the problem as it's Inferno coming up next.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Skin Guesser by CS Money. I'm joined by Astralis and FaZe Clan today. We asked the community some questions ahead of the start of the fall groups, and now it's your guys' job to guess the answers of the fans. Each correct answer is worth 100 points. Each incorrect answer is worth 50 points, as in a negative 50. If you get 2 incorrect answers, you then switch control of the question to the other team. Whoever gets the 8th and final answer gets an additional 100 points. Astralis, you guys are gonna start. Question number 1. What is the best AK skin?
Wild Lotus.
Wild Lotus is correct.
Oh wait, just need to fill them out?
You gotta fill all 8.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, you're
Fire
gonna have to do the whole 8. Fire Serpent.
Case happens.
Both correct.
Neon Rider.
Neon Rider is the skin that starts with an N.
Asimov.
Asimov, that's 5.
Okay, we're gonna
pass. I like that.
So B is Bloodsport.
Correct.
And V is Vulcan.
Correct.
Redline.
Correct.
Oh, yeah. There we go, Finn. You're back.
All right, nicely done. Okay, so FaZe, get ready for your second question. What is the best team sticker with an animal on it?
First one, Furia.
Furia, correct.
Vitality, the B.
A bee is not an animal. I would say Virtus.pro.
Correct.
We play against so many teams. How the f do we not know? Man?
What is team?
Is Team Liquid.
Team Liquid is correct.
I Buy Power as well.
I Buy Power is correct.
Mouse.
Correct.
Is it? Yeah, yeah.
It is a mouse.
Yeah.
It is a mouse.
It's mouse walks.
Are you guys done?
You wanna pass it, no?
Astralis, the floor is yours.
I would say Copenhagen Wolves.
Copenhagen Wolves is correct.
I played there.
And, and then I would say North.
North is also correct. Okay, I'm gonna have to address this.
No.
It's the definition around animal. What is the best team sticker with a creature on it?
I deserve my chance. I deserve my chance. Bro, I deserve my chance to guess.
You guys got an answer?
Dignitas.
Correct. Last round of the game. We asked the viewers, name a skin you would give to your friend. You don't want the most popular answer, straight up. FaZe, you can choose whether you start or close.
We will start.
So,
Asimov.
with that correct answer, Astralis, it is your turn.
Wild Lotus.
Wild Lotus is correct.
Gamma Doppler.
Incorrect. Negative 50 points.
Gut Knife.
Astralis says gut knife with a chance to close the gap, with a chance to steal the win.
But it's wrong.
Incorrect answer. It's a good effort.
Almost.
But congratulations, FaZe. You guys have won. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me in the CS Money segment.
Where's the trophy?
There's actually something.
Congratulations, Finn. You are now the primary opper.
Thank you. I'm back, guys.
You've been promoted.
Going back to years 2008.
Vitality with a T-side tear spell the end on Big's map pick. 6 in a row, Zywu shining bright. Despite the first half getting a little bit complicated, Jacob, Vitality do prevail and take away their opponent's map.
I think that was a very competitive game. I think Big deserves a lot of credit for pushing Vitality to the limit to some extent. I think first half, as you said, back and forth, a lot of clutches, a lot of 1v1s, a lot of 2v2s. It wasn't a walk in the park at all for Vitality. Now, it is Big picking the map, so that's also to be expected that it came in prepared, but I still think they played better than I anticipated.
Yeah, listen, I'll temper your judgment just a little bit. You see the end, there wasn't really a question. Once Vitality got into... when Vitality got into gear, it was over. I don't think Big really had an actual chance to win this. And I also think that Vitality probably overcompensated what they hadn't done against NIP. And we had words from there as well. They said we were too passive against NIP. We didn't make these moves. Turns out they made all the moves against Big.
They made all the moves, and now we may as well jump into one of them. Round 8, I kind of want to highlight it a little bit, just talk about it, because it's Vitality struggling in that first half to overcomplicate things. Bigs are calling out a B rush right here, and guess who's ready for it? Mr. Zywu. Not only getting 1, not only getting 2, but he's getting 3 kills from this position. The second one is dirty, the third one is even better, and at this point, the round is effectively over. 1:30 left, it's a 4v2. There's no way Vitality should lose this. Bomb is down on the bomb side, but they overcomplicated a little bit. Give up a couple of easy peeks. No one is spotting up here. He's getting a nice kill in the back of a player, getting another one right here, being pushed down. It's just very, very poor play from Vitality. We get into a 1v1 scenario with 30 seconds left, and this could have gone both ways. Mantu is incredible close turning this one around. Had that been the case here, Vitality could have come off with a poor first half, and I think it was close in that first half. I think Big had a chance to actually not win the game, but at least make it close.
And before that round, they even already had turned around a situation where they were under advantage against Vitality. So yeah, I think it took Vitality a few rounds just to find their gear. Gross mistake of communication in that example you just picked, Jacob. Apex is hiding behind site. Why isn't the connected people aware that there is a risk on the peak? That's the issue. But I would say a bit rusty at the beginning.
Yeah, but then we see Vitality with the reaction, particularly coming into that second half. And it's good to see Vitality being able to do that, because that NIP game, we didn't see that. Let's jump into round 22, because it's a really good example of the offense delivered by Vitality.
Yeah, a good call from Apex. We just crucified him from that last round, but now he's very much into the skin of Big as well, and he's going to punish Sin beautifully. We see this contact play. It's Apex realizing that mid isn't really covered. Sin makes the mistake here, gives his life away, and just for that moment on, you can see the defense is kind of falling apart. There's enough angle, but that's very well cleared by Flamesy, which is exactly what we want to see from him, leading the charge. And even to add insult to injury is going to be Magisk able to find 2 kills when they're saving, and they're going to just come on that pincer move to grab Mantu out of the rounds. This was perfect from Vitality, round 22. And this is, from this point on, pretty much over. I think Apex figured out how to play the game. He called very fast, very one-dimensional, efficient CS. That was a good example. A couple of A rushes, over.
I think the reason we're left with the notion that it was a close game and could have been a close game is the fact that Vitality started on the CT side. Had they been on the T side, I think they would have run all over Big. They probably would have gotten 10, 11 rounds on that T side, because as you said, it looks super, super easy. Zywu was playing well. Magic's had a couple of rounds, and there was just a lot of positives to take away from Vitality. And I will say, coming into this game, if the best map you can pick against Vitality is Anubis, you are in deep drop.
Yeah, well, listen, we have a couple of facts from Zywu. You guys at home don't need me to say how good he is. I think you've heard me say that enough in many different broadcasts. I would just like to say for Vitality and this roster, I think it's very important to get a couple of reps on Anubis very quickly. Sure. Because with Dupree, they had, I think, came to that position where nobody really would want to pick it against them. They had played enough maps, enough reps, enough training, that they were a team to be feared on it. So now you get to send a message. You get to say, listen, our T side is still very strong. Sure, maybe we're finding our marks a little bit on the CT side, but you can not punish us on it. And when you think about Cologne coming out very soon, all of the teams that made a roster change are racing against time to establish a map pool. So good for Vitality to react there.
We've also got to think about Vitality's map pick. That is going to be Inferno coming into this series. So Danny, what should we be looking out for on their opponents on this map?
We haven't seen Vitality really play Inferno, especially not on that T side, but we have seen Big play on the CT side, and we actually have seen some good play from them. So I want to break down this round here towards the B site. Very dynamic spot that you can play. So the first thing we're going to see here is that this is against Heroic, and Heroic, they're getting ready to set up for a full B attack with the exec. Big, they have 3 people here. Now, this looks like an advantageous position, but of course, just because you have the numbers there doesn't mean you're going to automatically win the round. You still have to play off of each other. So take a look at what Big do right here. So first person we're going to look at is Tabson. He is simply just jiggling with the smoke. The idea behind it, as soon as the reaction comes in, he's going to toss the smoke down to block the choke point. Now, the second player here, Process, he's here towards the start corner. He's going to have a flash ready. And the idea behind this is that as soon as Tabson drops his smoke here at the entrance, that's when Process, he's going to lob his flash over here towards Pool so that if the T's decide to push past it, Tabson has a way to actually contest it with the flash. And the third person that we want to talk about here is Sin. He's in a very powerful spot, and that's because by playing on top of the quad box or the new box, when that Molotov comes in, which almost always does when B executes, he doesn't take damage because he's up high like this on the box. And as well, by being in this position where his head is slightly covered by this archway or this wall, when the T still flashes, he's not going to get blinded by it. It's a very powerful position. So with all these players in this setup in mind, take a look at what Heroic do. They throw all the nades here. CG smoke, spool smoke, the 3 Molotovs, the whole site is covered. Tabson, he then drops his smoke. And as he drops his smoke, he also gets smoked out. And this is when Process comes in with this flash. This allows him to then push past that smoke and contest the angle right away. Finds that first kill on the player coming in, and then Sin in that power position. As soon as the Molotov comes down, he knows he's not taking damage as well. The flashes, he knows it's not going to hit him either. That's how he gets that first kill, and that basically derails this push here, where Heroic, even though they threw basically every single piece of utility at the B bomb site Big, they had a great way to figure it out. So for Vitality coming in on their T side, we haven't seen much of it. How are they going to be tested if they decide to hit that B site?
Loving that breakdown from Mahone Zone, as always. But the reason we haven't seen too much of Vitality T side is because it was 16-1 versus Complexity, the only time we've seen them.
Yeah, and it looked blatantly easy for Vitality, but I will say there are still a couple of questions out there, namely the Flamesy Apex duo on the B side. That's one that I would like to see tested. I would like to see them punched a little bit, pushed a little bit, because against Complexity, it was just a walk in the park. It was a day at a beauty salon. They're having a good time. We'll see.
I don't live in a world where Vitality is not going to win Inferno. I'm not going to lie.
All right.
I think this is over, unfortunately.
Well, there is logic to Jacob's Madness, as it is Vitality's map pick, a chance of Big to come back, but it will be an uphill battle. We're jumping into it after this break.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You join us for the second map between Big and Vitality. Could be Shiza time for Big here. The end of the line, unfortunately, Anders, as it doesn't look good. It's Vitality's map pick of Inferno, and they've been doing some work here in Denmark.
We're all actually seriously missing out because there are so many absurd German, you know, sort of idioms and just sort of weird words that are stuck together. Like Germans have this way of building words where they just add more words together to make like a concept that no one's ever heard of before. But it makes sense when you actually look into it. So, you know, that's probably the main reason you should learn German, is just to learn some of those.
You speak much German?
I took German for like 7 or 8 years in school.
Okay, so some at least.
Some at least. I feel like if I watch a German news broadcast, after like a couple of minutes, I can understand most of what's happening. So,
well, the headline is lose this map and Big are out of the tournament. They'll be knocked into the showdown. Vitality with a perfect run to open this tournament up. A couple of 2-0s. Looking fresh from the break. Bolted against the Ninjas. One more map will do it though, as they enter the T-side pistol here. A couple of smokes, a couple of mollies. No PT-50s in sight. And the first engagement going down towards Banana here. It's just Tabson alone. On this side of the map, he has no utility to speak of apart from a decoy. And there's don't see many of those these days.
You really don't. Still yet to find a really reasonable spot in the game, but maybe Tabson has a plan.
It seems to be used as a fake flash, you know.
Every once in a while.
That's where its value is found. Bouncing it off, someone turns, $50 could find you a kill.
It's so rare, but I don't disagree. Heard some other potential uses, but we'll get back into that later on because this could be a pretty straightforward execute. I think they've got flames hanging around second mid towards middle, maybe at the A-bomb site, and towards B. Smokes are coming in. Good shot from Crimbo. They need more of that, though. They need to defend this bomb site. Backup is coming. Tabson finds another skull. It's looking very good at the moment. Spinks finally with the return. The bomb is in the back. I think on the back of Apex, so trying to see if they can create a little bit more space for the eventual bomb plant. Grenade thrown right on top of the goldfish. That's a bit rough. Still a 2 versus 3, Henry, and the bomb is lost out of the open. They're waiting for the flank.
And what a flank it could be. A beautiful shot from Spinks. Brings us back to a 2-on-2. 30 seconds remaining here. Biding his time as both CTs wait towards coffins right now. They know he's there.
They do absolutely know he's still alive. I don't understand it. How could he stay alive for that long? Trying to get the opening. Flames only good for the one headshot. Man 2 just manages to spin back around. It's such a close round. If he could have waited maybe a second or 2 more Spinks, it might have been even more impressive. But it didn't work out in the end. Big will win the pistol.
Yeah, good discipline there from Big. Maintaining their advantage, staying together. Pretty impressive hold, all things considered there with the smokes down as well. Tabson managing to hold strong, denying the plant as well. And there will be a force buy. So not saving for the third round here. They bring out the pistols and drop an AK-47 for Zai Wu. And we all know how potent he can be in these particular rounds. So Big have got their work cut out for them. A couple of SMGs in the mix. And they're sending 4 players, including that AK, towards top or middle, which is currently vacant. Not much there.
Tempting to stay far back when you know you've got the weapon advantage like Big do. But obviously you gotta be careful, don't give away too much space. You can be crunched on the bomb side. If they get the kill on Sin, who's playing over at this corner first, then the rest of the A-bomb side is in a bit of trouble.
So, pressure being applied towards the A-bomb side here. Smoke down towards the arch and indeed library. 5 players here for Vitality. Rotations have to come through. Will be an 8 split to close things out here. 1 minute on the clock. Smoke's dissipating. Flashbang and the commitment coming in now.
Man 2 starts it off for the kill on Spinks, but there's what you need in return. Flames as well and down in the pit. Sidewall opens it up and he spins. Nearly gets the triple. It's close and it'll be followed up by Megas. The bomb is planted and they made that look so crisp and clean, didn't they?
Yeah, we talk about Zywoo's AWP all the time, but his AK-47 is fierce, to say the very least. We've had multiple sequences today where he seems to break all the rules, slow it right down, be 1 step ahead of his opponent each and every way. We are going to have Process here, hoping to
do damage,
take a kill, do something with it, but Flames has got his number, and it will be a quick response here from Vitality. The second round force buy works out for them after not planting the bomb. in the pistol. And yeah, this force by wars will continue. We saw this on Anubis, Andy.
We
It was
did.
back and forth, what, 5 or 6 rounds? But this from Zyro as well to preempt that secondary player towards headshot. The thing of beauty, and so is that Deagle play from Magus as well. Force by confirmed.
Brings up an interesting thing that, you know, is kind of lost to the history books as well. There was a point in time when we had dedicated AWP players that were significantly worse with the AWP or the M4, so you really that they really made their living with the AWP and not much else. And I feel like there's not a lot of space for that now. You have to be pretty good with the rifles as well. You can't just rely on the AWP. Can't think of many modern AWPers that just disappear when they don't have the AWP. A little bit of damage on the side at the start of it.
Yeah, that scout tag.
Not a single helmet in sight, Henry, on the CT side. No... Oh, gonna say no armor at all on Tabson, and that's the result. You need the Kevlar, it turns out.
Well, 2 scout tags have landed now, at least. So Crimbo with a chance of the CZ, maybe a double kill. They are going to be fully sending it up middle, though. So the chance of him finding multiple kills are limited, to say the least. Especially when they're wrapping around towards Arch now.
That was a teammate, right? Yeah. I think that was a teammate. Scary stuff.
Oh,
either way, they are probably going to be fine.
Probably.
Should be. They've stolen 2 AKs. That's a lot of value to have in the next round with the Scout and the Deagle. But obviously, it's also tempting to try and do something with them in this round and see if you could bring it back.
Yeah.
I think with that kill, they probably realized, no,
I was going to say, like, you want to be saving, though. That's a bit of a godsend. You've been given 2 AK-47s here. There's a force by round. It's over. You're not going to be winning it. But at least you'll have something to work with now going forward. You've already got Kevlar, right? And the Scout to back it up. The next round's actually quite viable if you keep all 3 members alive.
You know, I have a bit of trivia for you, Henry.
Go on.
Did you know that the fish over at the B-bomb site don't actually collide with the nades? You can't kill a fish with a flashbang or a decoy by landing it on top of it.
What about an HE in the pond?
That'll do it. Even Molotov on top of it will do it as well.
Okay. So
I spent some time.
Why would I think a flashbang would kill the fish, though?
Well, they collide with players, it could do damage, right?
Oh, I see what you mean. So if it directly hits.
Yeah, directly hits. I spent
okay.
probably an hour throwing grenades at fish.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me that much, but it is good to know.
I thought it was, you know, someone has to do some of the, you know, science. Not always exciting, Henry. Sometimes you just have to do it.
It's a thankless job, but someone's got to do it.
Yeah.
As that scout rattles off once again. Nothing connecting this time. We are going to see a 2-1 lead for Vitality. I guess you can call this one another force buy, really. After saving 3 weapons in the previous round, it's actually stronger than their previous efforts. So, yeah, this round is well under their remit. They can actually win this one. We've got a boost in CT spawn.
Yes.
Up top.
The unorthodox. You don't see this one nearly as often. Even with the smoke up, it might pay off here. Flashed in, and a nice little step out from Process. He's going to be able to get the kill, even run boosted back, I think more or less by accident, but still, very cool stuff. Vitality punished by their own AK-47 from the previous round. Process stepping out again. That's a FAMAS down there. They don't have any head armor still, so even the FAMAS is going to be doing a lot of damage, but we're going to be real careful here.
A nice idea to boost behind the smoke, but they fumbled it. But making up for it now. That's cleanly through said smoke. Spinks has got a guaranteed kill here. Waiting for his time to strike. That'll certainly help out, but they know the numbers are going to be low here towards B as the bomb is planted. Significant damage inflicted towards the coffins here. Now, bear in mind, it's the man advantage for Big. They do not have a kit, but they can still win this round. All 4 players in towards the ruins right now.
That actually was a 6 spray for Magus. I don't know how he did on much damage. It was just a FAMAS. He couldn't obviously see them. That's already made it a much harder retake. But the defuse kit is the main factor, like you pointed out. Look at the spray down for Magus. 3 kills just like that. Looking for the 4th in the corner with the Deagle now. Oh, it's going to be Flames instead, but absolutely rock solid work with the stolen FAMAS. So just a battle of which stolen weapon was going to be better this round.
Well, Magus FAMAS saves the day, that's for sure. It was looking a little bit dicey at one stage there with the nice work of the AK-47s, the saved AKs. But ultimately, Spinks finding this kill in towards middle. Magus finding that FAMAS inside and killing them through the smoke as well. The round was saved. They lined up for him. Job done. And another difficult round here for Big. FAMASes No kits, no helmets. And yeah, saving those AKs might have encouraged them to invest a little bit more than they should have done. Damage there. ZywOo down to 9 points of health.
Yeah, not the best start for him, obviously. Look at Big, even in this round, double for Mars. Almost no grenades left, Henry, at 1 minute and 25 seconds. That's a nightmare on Inferno, but Man2, he was top fragging on the opening map of Anubis. He's still doing rather well here. Maybe they're gonna have to rely on him. It's a grenade to take down side. We're in a quick 5 versus 3, but they can bring it back. This round is not done yet.
It all lies on Sin's position. He has been removed. Magus will chime in as well. All of a sudden, what's looking like a winning scenario has completely collapsed around Big. Magus just making light work of them. These A splits, the R traps, that is too much. And that was when they had the opening kills as well. Big will have to save once again. 4-1 Anders. And bear in mind, this one really does have some ramifications attached to it. This is the 2 games today. Both have tangible effects going forward. So the winner of this series will be the 5th team making it to the Royal Arena. Same story down to the showdown for the losers as well. And then the final game of the day is that last slot. 11 days of play, Anders.
And even more importantly, the predictions games between the talent could also...
It could come to a head today because Jacob and I are both on 16 points and we have different predictions for the last game. I've got Na'Vi, he's got G2.
You've come in, Henry, brand new into this whole Blast space, and already you're vying for the top position, you know?
Well, that's why it's a shame I found out there's no prize involved, because I've got a diamond coin from the Paris Major, Anders. My prediction game is pretty strong.
That is one of the really rare ones for that particular tournament,
exactly.
Right?
And here I am, replicating that success once again. Top of the charts.
Maybe if you win, I'll air fry you some food for the,
Do me some ice cream. Air fryer ice cream.
Air fried ice cream, yeah. Never been done before.
So, what have we got here? Big will save 2 weapons again, Anders, but don't have the resources to justify the full investment. They've taken a half buy. Difficult choice to make considering he's so low, and an Apps pop is looking likely. But Man2, he's in position. He's got the opening kill. That might change the pacing here somewhat. Grimbo to open things up, and now they're running into it.
Oh, yeah. Bit of a meat grinder, isn't it? Unfortunately, they're going to lose the really powerful rifle on that side. Good shot for Sin. The bomb is committed. They know there's someone down in the pit. Stolen AK, and it's Grimbo. Great mechanics on him. Beautiful triple overall in the round. And obviously, the crossfire between him and Man2, just really a fine job. Big with a very unlikely round, but just setting up in the perfect position.
Right place, right time. Man2 waiting towards that graveyard. Even had the opportunity to miss a couple of shots as well. Alley-ooping his teammate Crimbo. Gets that first kill with the CZ. Drops down to the pit as well. Mows them down to close things out. They needed that, to be honest. This one was starting to spiral at a 4-1. A half buy there as well. But they're back on their feet. Full buy for Vitality. Last the resources here, though. Man2 running the gauntlet. AWP set up in the apartments here. Could go a bit further as well. They are not patrolling apartments whatsoever.
I'll tell you something about the position that Man2 is holding, Henry.
Go on.
If you smoke down in front of it, you can actually see the light from the window in the back, and it can be eclipsed the same way that you can on Mirage.
Yeah, with the lights and the flickers, you know someone's there.
And you can throw that smoke from Arch on Cs. The CTs can smoke it and set up there. Been messing around with it. It does work.
It is a thing.
But obviously very suspicious if you see the smoke and you're on the T side, but just as a concept.
So back towards middle, we did say Vitality have found great success with these A-Raps. It's Grimbo in towards Arch this time, and Man2, as we mentioned, in towards those apartments. Opening frag is his. He removes the Sphinx from the equation, repositions as well. 3 players towards B, and it might not matter as Man2 is mowing them down here. 2 shots, 2 kills. And that might be it. 30 seconds remaining, and they're starting to peel off.
Yeah, the first one is just a question of timing, really, but the second one looked a bit silly. Apex, I don't think he was not ready for it. Surely must have heard some footsteps or something, but didn't look like he was looking that way at all. So, not necessarily an ideal round. Still, they're in the lead.
Wow, that's a huge touchdown. Love that. And Man2 holding his nerve. Back-to-back high-impact performances from the A-bomb side. So they will be saving 3 weapons here. ZywOo with the AWP, just to note. Managed to take a bundle of utility with them as well. But we did say they were fully invested there. So averaging around $3,000 per player as Big post 2 rounds in a row. Will be the tactical timeout now as Vitality assess their options. What's been going on?
Yeah, and off the back of the C-set AWP round, where Crimbo got the triple kill, I mean, that's a nice way to get springboarded back into the game. We appreciate that for Big. They need it. The stakes are super high, like you pointed out. You don't want to go to the showdown. It's not a great place to be, really.
Certainly not. Vitality would like to get this done in 2. Keep it clean. They entered this tournament with 2-0, 2-0 against Complexity and EG. Lights out performances. They look fantastic.
Makes me smile to see Gobby and Sonic behind these two teams. Competing all the way back against each other, you know, way back
years ago. Decades ago, Andy.
Actual decades, yeah.
So, CT spawn smoke deployed.
It's uncomfortable.
Mantu takes a lot of damage there. He wanted to have a little peek in towards second middle. Sent packing by the spam bullets from T-Steps. See, they've actually gunning for a bit of banana control here as well. Decent HE doesn't actually connect. Quite a passive approach into this round. Aegis will finally push through the smoke here. Molotov in the corner.
Ouch. Orb shot from the other side, I think.
Well, Mantu is there. And he has been very influential in their success in the last 2 rounds. So Magis with the presence towards B, he's gained control. 4 players otherwise towards top and middle. They've left the bomb down towards the underpass, so don't have to necessarily commit here. That's a lovely HE grenade. Does a ton of damage. Oh, ZywOo.
He's got one more.
One
keep throwing them in. He's got his own little nest tag back there. That's ridiculous. Meg is going to be going down, and that's a very, very important kill for Mantu. If he dies to Magisk instead, I think they just lose the round right then and there. I don't think anyone can rotate to help out, so they're still going to try and see if they could go for it here. A little bit of a boost up, and they have very limited grenades. 3 smokes, 1 of them used. They don't have any flashbangs to get rid of Mantu at this corner, and that's disastrous. He's going to get that kill right away. You need at least 1 flash just to offset that AWP. Mantu also proving himself worthy once again. It's going to be a triple, make it a quad at the end as he gets to 10-4. Rock solid defense from him, and Big tie up the game.
Yeah, Mantu doesn't put a foot wrong there, and that sequence perfectly played, to be honest with you. He was the backbone of the B bomb site and delivered on all fronts. Started this initial pick as well, taking down Magisk, and you can see him changing a defensive line every single frag here. So he went from the corner to Coffins to Emo, then didn't overstep the mark again. Flashbang over the top so he could guarantee that final frag. We'll tie things up at 4-4. Bear in mind, Vitality were fully invested there as well, so a half-buy for them. And another deficit to kick things off. Process this time delivers the opening kill. And that is not slowing down Crimbo at all. That should be the second guaranteed as well.
Ooh. There we go. 3-4, at least a kill. Going to be very tricky to find Mantu at this range, and Sin all the way back here. Henry, Apex is 0-8 at the moment.
Early days. If they were losing 8-0, that might be an issue for them, but they're only down 1 round here.
Okay.
As Big are actually doing a pretty decent job. This is solid. Mantu especially has been everywhere. Very dynamic, impactful, right place, right time. As we will see resources come back in favor of Vitality. So round 10. Map 2, Vitality already taking Anubis, the pick of Berlin International Gaming. And here we go, Anders. Khalil for ZywOo.
Maybe not exactly what you would want, but doesn't mean you can't do some real work with it. I appreciate your optimism on behalf of Apex. I think it's probably true. I mean, that not all 8-0s or 0-8s are created equal. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily have to have that big of an effect. Double setup in the A apartments with a 3-man stack at B, leaving Archway wide open, but nobody's really testing it for Vitality. So for the minute, Big don't care as much.
Well, yeah, Mantu showed some presence there at the start of the round. Fired up a shot towards T steps. Slows them right down. They have to be aware of his presence. And all the meanwhile, Tapson found an opening frag. This time it's Mages to go down again. Consistently being dropped here as Mantu continues to deliver. Bomb goes down. Still a chance here if Flames can find that kill, but not going to happen. Hope running very thin now at this point. They still know this player's towards the side itself, so we've actually got a 2-on-2. First winnable scenario Vitality have had in some time.
Yeah, and again, it comes towards that A-bomb site. Process is here actually very swiftly. Might be maybe 3 or 4 seconds earlier than they're really thinking about it, but no, Spinks, good coverage. Whether he was thinking or not, he was making sure that no one could sneak through. And Tabson, he's already been slowed down once. Once he fires this gun, they're going to know where he's coming from. They should not be fighting him. Make sure that he has to basically expose himself to both players. The bomb is inside the site as well, and the spray is going to be fine. Apex finding his second kill, both of them in this one round. But that's going to tie up the game, make it a 5-5. Speaking of Berlin, Henry.
Go on.
You hear there was people thought there was a tiger on the loose.
They thought or they knew? Because it's not. It's kind of easy to confirm.
It was reported. You say that, but there was a lot of wild stories going on. Apparently, it ended up being a hog instead.
A hog.
I don't know how people mistook.
So it was a tiger.
It doesn't seem like an obvious like.
People thought a hog was a tiger.
Yes.
And how many sightings had incurred before they?
I don't know, but I read about it in Danish news, so it must have been. It must have reached quite far.
I didn't hear about that, but I'm skeptical, to say the least, Anders. As Vitality recover from the timeout here, I've posted a round after breaking the streak of Big, who took 4 rounds in a row here, 5-5 overall, all for ZywOo. And that round was pretty closely contested once again. Mantu opening things up. It looked super strong until Flames was able to find some footing on the A-bomb side. We're sending multiple players towards B at the start here. Haven't seen much of this.
It could really be a pivotal round, this one. Look at the money on either side. Tied up game. And with this being Vitality's map pick, I feel like if they win this round, they're going to be having, once again, a really good T side. Surely it's on Big to cement this, win the first half, get more momentum going. Mantu's already fired up. Crimbo's doing well. That was the same as last time, but my God.
Hello.
He just shut him down. He just shut him through the wall. That's disgusting. He's going to keep it going. Still one more player to defend. It's Tabson. Wide swing as he does finally punish ZywOo for his insolence, but I'm not sure it's going to make a difference here. The flashbangs are just so good from the back line there. Apex on the assist, and this should be the round.
I think you're right. They're not even going to attempt to go for this one. That's all ZywOo this time. Individual performance. He's known to have a few sequences towards Banana with the AWP. Helps himself to 2 frags. Flames will pick up the third. And yeah, nothing they can really do. Big will have to just sit back in the pit. Wait for their opportunity to strike back here. You might not be hunting if you're on the Vitality side for reasons. And as just stated, the money's not amazing. Spinks is in towards the apartments here. Could be activated towards the end of this C4. See if he can take one down with him at least, but that's about as far as he'll probably go. And there it is, Vitality actually opting for a banana gambit this time. Works out for them. Nothing too technical in terms of the strategic approach, but getting the AWP in ZywOo's hand, he finds 2 massive kills here.
Yeah, they're going to be doing really well behind it. 2 M4s that they have to contend with in the upcoming round. Once again, Big will be on their back foot a little bit. Now, credit to Big. They've made a lot out of the rounds where they've had very little. They saved. Look at the shot here. This is so
is
stupid.
It straight through the wall on the corner? Yeah, you don't see that very often. Like, it's quite common, I suppose, in the CTs to span that angle and get a kill or a tag. Yeah, you don't see it too often. Like, that's the round in itself and that one click. Nothing they could do to hold on. That is ridiculous. And round 12 is upon us. Mantu starting to simmer down now as ZywOo is activated. Mages with a good spawn. And he's been struggling. He's been going down more often than not.
A little bit of a grenade. Actually going to work out very well. Cross is put under a little bit of pressure. Magus not calling in for the flash yet. Happy to wait it out with the Molotov on the other side. We'll see if there's going to be any kind of a response here. I think the CTs are thinking about their own pop flash into the corner, so So far, Maker's just counting the footsteps, listening in, making sure he can hear what's happening on the other side.
Yeah, hasn't given anything away here. They've got decent banana control as 4 members will join him. Same spam, holding the CTs at bay here. It's processing tabs into defend. They've got incendiaries, a couple of those, one of which has been deployed, but that doesn't matter. They're breaching the bomb site right here, right now. First kill for Flames is very good. The flashbang's overwhelming as Tabson can do nothing to respond, and that's the round over. A simple B take, very effective flashbangs, and no kills given over. 5 on 3, round confirmed, and you might want to consider the hunt this time.
It's tempting. It's really tempting. You can take away so much of the power of Big in the upcoming round if you find maybe another 2 kills. I guess Flames and Makers are both kind of low on health, but that B bomb site, this was a triple stack, and it's still being exposed as not quite able to stand up to it.
No, anything but really. Vitality had an objective at the start of the round. Command and conquer the banana and B bomb site, and yeah, they did so with emphatic style. The spams, the relentless utility to claim banana control, then the basic execution. Primarily the flashbangs, nothing could really be done. Tapson only had the FAMAS at the back as well, didn't even get a clean angle to fire from. But they saved 3 weapons, including the Man-2 AWP as well, but it's 7-5 Vitality. Looking comfy for the rest of this half, and that was a very brave maneuver. Running through the flames, you can see they were ahead of the utility as well, just when the CTs were repositioning. Pulling out their own utility. Flames getting a blast from the past there. The hard slaps from Dexter.
Yeah. It's like that PTSD dog. Just looking at it. Here we go. Down the middle. I like this. Trying to switch it up. They need a change big because they're starting to fall behind. They're losing rifles and losing money. That's a good beginning. They actually gave up on the mid portion of the attack. I thought they were going to follow through with the push down. Tabson took a fair bit of damage. 4 on 5.
So now they know the AWP isn't towards the apartments. They're going to try and capitalize upon that information and see if they can convert this round. Stay away from the AWP, but there are 3 CTs here. Apex deciding it's a good opportunity to get in towards CT spawn, and oh my god, this is falling apart. Unraveling at the seams as we get a 5 versus 3. Flames, first kill will be no problem. That's not communicated. They could be in towards spawn. Zywoo picking at the pieces, and now winnable, but probably not likely as Man2 will just have to run through. He gets that first kill though, 1 versus 1.
And sick, and look at it switch into the AK. Gotta be careful though. It's Zywoo in the back with the AWP. You're gonna try and flash him out, but he's behind the pillar. He's fine. Does he want to pick up the AWP? Doesn't seem like it. What a dangerous route, and Zywoo's already read it. He had the right idea. If he would have stuck it another second, he would have won the round right then and there. Bomb has still got a little bit of time left, but Man2 does not have a kit, and he's going to get shot down. Trying to jump around the corner there. Close round. I swear they forgot about Apex. They heard him running from construction.
You could see the player in Ruins was checking that position, right?
I know.
He was aware of it. He heard him move in towards CT spawn. So the comms were completely off there. Like,
must have been something.
He just had said, bear in mind, one could be tree.
Yeah.
Well, one is tree. We've heard him. We're aware of him. But maybe it wasn't registered. It would have been a very frantic moment. But yeah, Apex can't believe his luck there. They overlooked that position, and it will be Vitality winning out the half at 8-5 here. Their map pick. Already done enough here on this T-side campaign. Last 2 rounds will be a bonus. They could still get to double digits here. Full buy at least for Big. 3-man setup once again towards B, and maybe looking to claim territory here. The grenades and smokes going over. And another connected shot through that half wall.
Starting to really come together here. It's their map pick. They've got the lead. They've got everything going their way. Even if they lose the rest of the rounds here, they're probably still going to be fine with it. And they've lost crosses at the top of Banana. So again, that 3-man lead towards the B bomb site. Or the lean there, not really working out for them at the moment. I feel like more often than not, they still end up losing the side anyway. Ready to set it up with a flash in case Man2 gets Molotov or flashed out of there. He's in the corner, but a little bit quicker than Cyber this time. That's a good shot. Still a 3-on-3 though.
Yeah, well, at least they made this round possible, you know. But the B bomb side is wide open, and Apex is starting to transition to that area right now. Flames will show his hand in the apartments. He's trying to keep CTs on this side of the map, but he knows he's not doing a very convincing job. They're not taking the bait at all. And the race is on. Smoke down in spawn. Will block the vision of Crimbo here. The bomb will be planted. They've got to go for this one, Anders, though. They have to give it a go. See what can be done here. The bomb will be planted momentarily.
Yeah, I would have said the same thing, but I guess the only problem is that it's gonna defuse, kid.
Still, they've got 2 players here, Mantis and Spawn. You've got to give this one a go. At least see if there's a kill to be found. It's unlikely for sure. Time is of the essence, and
yeah,
it's not looking too compelling.
Maybe could have boosted before the bomb. Maybe could have done a little bit more.
Here we go.
There is a kill to be found. You did mention it. No more grenades on Vitality. Hold on. This could be interesting. Molotov, the Fortis are Megas, but they line up for him. They had the right idea, but the positioning on the other side was awful. Now it's a 1 versus 1. And Natus got everywhere to check. 10-second defuse does put up a little bit of a smoke, but again, I think the clock simply run out on this one. He's going to get the kill and still lose the round. 9 to Vitality.
And he doesn't survive either. The AWP is removed. A comprehensive victory for Vitality. Nothing saved, everything lost. And we go 9-5 as Vitality win out in another banana duel here. The battle rages on. It came back to a 3-on-3. Mantu and Tabson did very well in towards the mid position to actually find some kills, but they gambled somewhat, stacking everyone in towards A, and that was their unraveling, unfortunately for them. It's the final round here of the first half of the second map.
He's laughing his way through that one.
Yeah. And it's going to be fast up towards middle. 2 players ready and waiting. 1 on the atrium, that's Mantu.
Yeah, they heard the scope up. Apex calling it out. He gets a little bit of information. Sam was still hanging around. He's expecting that there could be a peek coming in from the other side, which wasn't really far off. I think Sin was considering that. Either way, no matter how you twist this, it's a brilliant start for Vitality on their own map pick. They're going to be quite happy with this no matter what.
And yeah, they've got the advantage here. They find double digits. I think that would be the death sentence for Big, but we'll see if they can hold on here. Very important final round, and Sin, he gets the dink, but that's about it. The split coming in once again. The A-Rap, which has been a real thorn in the side of Big. Good positioning from Mantu. Maybe he can find a big triple kill, but he'll be removed early. Crimbo needs to deliver on all fronts here. Only got the FAMAS, good for 1, but his days are numbered. They're coming through the smoke right here, right now. Needs another, and he is finding kills. It's possible now. 2 versus 1, 40 seconds. Has to reload, and that's going to be the better of him. It's going to be 10-5 as Vitality post double digits here on their T-side campaign on Inferno.
I'm from Harrow, right outside London. Yeah, it's a bit of a shithole. I didn't really have much of a plan. Yeah, I got picked up by the first iteration of Into the Reach, and that was my plan, to just play as best as I can and to just grow with it and just show what I'm capable of. I kind of describe myself as an inconsistent Joker who can be good at the game when he wants. Qualifying to Legends like that was insane. We just come out swinging and we can win this, you know? When we saw we got Vitality first, it was like, fuck. When we initially went into the arena, I was in my head like, what the fuck's going on, you know? And I hear all those people.
The screen goes up, you still stand there, then come lights on you guys, and music goes down. When the music starts again, you start walking. We'll say go.
If you want to push a smoke, do it. If you want to do something monkey, do it, because I'm doing it. So you should do it. I think it was like a dream come true to everyone. My whole team was like, what the fuck is happening here, you know?
Come on there, guys.
Chicken. One dead B. One short. One more apps. I do pit bug smoke.
Vincere short. I'm running B. I have one more
B
smoke
smoke.
party. I'm smoking B.
Dead off.
Two more. One more. He spammed me.
Bro, I'm flashing myself.
Nice, Mati!
Nice, Mati.
Nice, Mati!
You're
insane, bro. Let's go.
Sick, brother. One come in
Go
city.
city.
I can flash deep
I have
city.
it, I have it, I have it.
Flash
Go.
city, yes.
Flashing deep city. Watch out.
One city,
Nothing
city.
city. Boom. Wait a minute, watch out.
Average.
Yeah,
city.
yeah, smoke city. I still give alone.
No, no,
Do it. Doing that.
Everyone.
Yeah, I'm gonna go close. It's coils. Coils. Coils on coils. Out coils. Nice.
That's MVP was
That's
aiming.
not MVP, was out.
I played Simon. I will play triple, okay?
City, got the smoke.
Left side, I had the smoke.
It's out.
No, pull, Mathieu, pull. Devant toi.
Nice,
Mathieu.
Mathieu. Nice round.
Good job, boys.
The Royal Arena waiting in the wings for one of these two teams. We enter the second half of Inferno here. And sure, Mantu's performance was incredible. It was noted, but it wasn't quite enough to find the amount of rounds that might make you think that this is possible. 10-5 Anders as they move on to their T side here on Inferno. Tournament life on the line. It ain't looking good.
No, it's not. It's looking very dire at the moment, isn't it? Big not really able to withstand what Vitality have brought into this game so far. I guarantee you as well, Vitality would give it a big welcome at the Royal Arena, obviously with Magus and Sonic there. But just in general, I feel there's going to be quite a few Vitality fans showing up. So very excited. I'm sure they want to qualify as well. And it starts off well. Deleting Tabson.
Yeah, an almost robotic shot there from Magisk. One bullet, it's all that's required. Tabson, the brains of the operation, has been removed. Molotov down towards quad. A relatively open area as we've got a crossfire set up here. Magisk will be pushing down Banana and actually offering himself up to Apex, so he'll have to hold B now. They know there's probably just one player there. They're going to start rotating back. Apply some pressure, utilize the time they have remaining here. Still a minute on the clock. Apex will have no utility, just a single flashbang. And they know this is the correct angle of approach. They can smoke off spawn, Molotov towards coffins and flash over. They might not even need that considering there's one player there. Spinks, thankfully, will back up the B bomb site. Here comes the flash. It's a good one as well.
Ooh, but the Molotov, he has to run through it. Spinks also trying to do something. He's going to go down, and Spinks is on the other side. Apex might have been easier to win that fight if there wasn't the Molotov down in front of him. It does make it a little bit awkward. 4 versus 3 in the afterplant. And we'll see this flank coming through Banana. If they don't get the kill right here, it's not going to make a difference, and it still might not. Flames trying his best. Some good headshots, but his teammates on the other side, they weren't able to puncture through into the bomb site, unfortunately. So now he's in a lot of trouble here. 10 seconds to try and find 2 players and get the bomb down. It's not really going to happen. Sin will take him down, and Big winning the pistol on this. They had to do that. If they're dreaming of winning Inferno somehow, this pistol round had to happen.
Well, that's both pistols going in favor of Big here. They were unable to convert that second round force buy. If you remember, Vitality came out all guns blazing on their CT campaign. They'll do the same here. They've got a Desert Eagle for Flames and Apex, Scout for Zywoo. You've always got to be on high alert against Vitality. Doesn't matter what weapons they have. Zywoo will fire off the first shots and not connect, thankfully, for Big fans.
Yeah, at least get them warmed up into the second half here before you really start to struggle with it. It'd be nice to win this round without too much trouble, but I agree with what you're saying. You don't want to be underestimating them. That was the only defense at the B bomb site. It's been wiped out.
Yeah, there is a smoke down, so they won't be committing just yet, but it doesn't look good. Say that much. Another smoke will be deployed by Apex, and once again, we'll be given an enviable task of defending B alone against 5 players here. If he gets more than one, call it a miracle. Because they are going to have to commit here. They have no vision on the map whatsoever. It would take them too long to fall back and dissect. Smokes will come through. Commitment is imminent. And in we go.
He's had a couple of guesses like that without any real result. Get one. They could maybe try and boost on top of it here. Feels unlikely. And even outside of the A-bomb side there, you could see none of those players have even moved out of the pit position. They're just still hanging around. So I think it was more like a test. Maybe you get a couple of random deagle shots through. You can think about it, but they'll be happy to see what they got on the CT side, and Big will be happy to have a 7th round.
Oh, they'll be over the moon. Didn't have to work too hard for it. Just 1 kill fan. It was Flames who was ready for the 1 deeg. Gets greeted by a bullet of the Process AK-47 as well. That was the only kill required, as we said. There's a bit of a stack coming in from Vitality. Apex did well to do some damage on the crossover. I believe it was Spinks that converted the frag, but ultimately just saving their upgraded pistols here. The Scout, they've got Kevlar as well. They'll get a second bite of the cherry going forward. So we'll see what they can make of it. Pretty much the same round again. It's Process who will be reinvesting and probably goes for a Galil Mac-10.
However this works out long term for Big, you've questioned it a couple of times, sacrificing the sort of the German nature of the team for Mantu. But either way, he's really making a name for himself, I guess, as a candidate that's out there.
Yeah, like, I guess after the year break, my expectations were low. I think that's understandable.
Yeah.
Putting the culture of the team on the table, changing the language. It hasn't... Well, I guess it has been done before for Big. They did it with Smooya, for example. I guess to some extent with Zantaras as well. It just doesn't seem like Mantu would be that player. But to be honest, this tournament, you might be thinking otherwise. Spinks to be tested once again. Boosted up. There's significant damage, allowing Zaiwu to convert the frag with the Scout here. Smoke. Not quite perfect here, but they will scamper off. They'll maintain the 5-on-4 for now. 1 minute 15 remaining, and it's all 4 players for Big. Focusing towards the arch side. Needs to be very careful as the Scout of Zaiwu is towards short, and that Smoke's about to fade.
That's actually a thing with this USP on the other side there for Flames. Better be careful. They're coming through the smoke, and unfortunately for Spinks, he can't really find it. There's still a minute on the clock, so they have enough time. Otherwise, this would have been a bit worrisome. Pushing towards the tree and construction, and shot in the back. Now I am getting a bit worried once again. There is a potential crossfire. It's another tags. They're just so low on health now.
Oh!
Apex, look at how he's just deleting them at range. Cyrus finding another kill, and it's just Mantu. 1 versus 3. Just whittled down, just chipped away. Death by 1,000 cuts here.
Oh, that's wild from Zaiwu. The Scout must have tagged, what, 4 or 5 players there? And setting up Apex, they had so much information. It was Big with the mid-control opting for the CT spawn split. But as I mentioned, Zaiwu was towards short. That's where the danger started to come through. He hits a few tags. Apex converts them. Closes out the round as well. That's the one you can't afford to lose here. 11-7. After winning the first 2 rounds, they are down to around $3,000 per player. Sin only with $1,500. So there is a buy there, but if they lose this follow-up round, they're 12-7 down with a really difficult eco to manage. So they are going to buy. Tabson will confirm it with the AK-47. I guess it could be a hero AK. But no, looks like they will be joining him.
What a tough position for Big to be in. There's tough choices to be made ahead, no matter how this plays out with the economy, right?
Yeah, this is a very difficult one. The problem is as well, Vitality just had a huge injection of cash as well. That was technically an eco. They didn't have to invest much into it. They saved the Deagles and Scouts in the previous round, so just got a massive amount of cash going forward. Rifles across the board for them. Zaiwu just a Galil, I guess it's worth noting.
Yeah, again, maybe not the most ideal weapon, but probably my Black Inferno going to be pretty much okay. Now that they've been tagged up, it's even better with the Galil. You can make that work all day.
65 damage with just a single grenade there. It's so efficient. Spinks putting himself in the open here. That opening frag might come back to haunt him. Gets the double. He'll be done there. Zaiwu going to town with that Galil. 93 damage. Should be converted on the HE.
Look at the trades. 2 people walking in from the bomb site, a third one at the archway. Every time Big get a kill, they're not ready for the next player and the next player to swing in. It's really frustrating.
So now this is real nightmare fuel, because you've got second stage loss bonus. You're fully invested here. Crimbo, he can't really save. He got 45 seconds. He'll get no cash going forward if he does so. So it's full eco going forward. I'm afraid that's $1,900, $2,000 each. 13-7 looking locked in. You can't even like flirt with the idea. Let's get some Deagles. Let's get some PT-50, see what we can do with it. You just won't have anything.
At 12-7, it's starting to look like mission accomplished for Vitality.
It was unbelievable, really, though, right? The fact they lost to NIP in a 2-0 fashion, I don't think anyone saw that coming. Like, NIP, don't get me wrong, they're looking very good with Hampus's return. Like, it was a slow start in the tournament. They turned it around, but it's Vitality, man. Like, with Flames joining as well, and they got 2-0, 2-0, barely dropped any rounds to kick the tournament off. But certainly the heavy favorites coming into this one, and looking good to seal the deal as we enter round number 20. 12-7 in their favor, looking like we'll be 13 momentarily. It's a little bit more complicated than I anticipated here. A couple of kills coming in favor of Man2. He'll take that all day long. That's an extra $600. Still smiling, though.
He's once again up to 23, right? He's actually outfragging everyone at the server.
True. Highest member on Vitality is Spinks with 15.
You love to see that. You hate the 6-round deficit that's separating these two teams at the moment. That's really where the...
And bear in mind, they've got Cologne after this tournament as well, big that is, but they're not using the same lineup. Like, it's some weird... I think the Academy team qualified for Cologne, and now they're using, like, Tabson, bringing him in. So they will be speaking German in Cologne as well. So it's an interesting time. Good luck to them.
Yeah, I guess it's early on in the season, so maybe, you know, if you're going to make a lot of drastic things happen, you know, wild adventures, maybe now is the time to do it. And you've got the potential shakeup of CS2 coming out any day now, I heard. Could be tomorrow, Henry.
It won't be tomorrow, but it could be, I suppose.
Thanks for indulging me.
So, 1 minute 10, a very slow approach here from Burden International Gaming. 4 men, though, make their way towards top and middle. No utility really deployed here, going for more of a contact approach, thinking better of it, though. Sensing there's no CT presence, they actually start to coordinate back towards B. Now we've got Apex often anchoring this spot. He's got a boost going on this time. It's a difficult one to manage as well. The sort of position is to steal 1 kill away, drop off, lock them out. I dare say that's exactly what's going to happen here. 1 kill, fall back. They don't retreat all the way. Now that I'm very surprised about.
Yeah, they're just both sticking in the sandbags. That could have been very bad for the defense, but somehow it's worked out. A little bit of a smoke for Apex to try and buy some time. He's going to jump up on top of it. That's a bit too crazy for my taste. They've almost won this round. Look at the health that's left on Big here. Don't turn it into a 3v3. Yeah, the flank comes in and Saibu's just murdering all of them out on Banana. 14-7.
Okay, Zaiwu. That wasn't bad at all. Apex did a very good job. Like I said, I'm surprised they didn't fall back after this massive advantage they find. They're happy to stay. I guess it's because of the smoke they deployed as well.
Probably.
But yeah, like I said, damage done. Zaiwu with the Dream Spray, mowing them down. And you can see this complementing each other there. Flames and Apex happy with the setup. And yeah, Yuriko, or half by at the very least. And yeah, you're looking down the barrel of series points, tournament elimination, and an Apex headshot. I think we know which way this one's going.
There's no evidence that Big are able to turn this around on the second half at all, right? They are really getting blown up.
They've won both pistols, bear in mind.
And all it's given them is 7 rounds.
Yes, exactly. And this is 15-7 all day long.
You hate to see it if you're a fan of Big.
Well, at the same time, there's a lot of significant changes in the Big camp. Like, changing language before a big tournament, if you'll pardon the pun, is a brave maneuver, one that has to be done eventually. If you're bringing Man2 in, of course, so might as well just rip the Band-Aid off now, get it done.
That's fair.
Man2's delivering. Like, this hasn't been a terrible tournament. Like, it hasn't been a great one. But what did you expect? Like, they've got a brand new roster here, changing things up. As we just speak over the closing stages here, maybe there's a chance it would need multiple 1-digs here. It would have to be a highlight moment for them to stand a chance. They've been given a bit of space, but ultimately looking to be the clean sweep there. Crimbo, normally good for 1, will be dropped, and we've got series point now for Vitality. 1 round away from the Royal Arena.
To be honest, the problem that Big have been trying to solve for a long time is having a reliable and aggressive AWP player, right? And CSN, obviously, the highlights for CSN are so insane. The consistency just wasn't...
Yeah, that was the problem,
It wasn't there. Then they brought in Hype, who I thought looked
the thing
very
is
exciting.
as well, like, they found their, like, amazing form in the online era, right?
Yeah.
Like, where it was the COVID times, they managed to get to #1 team in the world.
Yeah.
But then if you can't replicate that on LAN consistently, that's an issue.
Yeah, you just have to. I thought Hype looked really exciting. But
I thought he looked great as well. Like considering that's a free signing, essentially, right? Came up through the academy. You'd think
exactly.
Like, this is where it needs to be. This is where it all makes sense. But apparently not. Like we only can know so much, I suppose. And ZywOo, he's always one step ahead. Gets the opening frag and the spams. You don't see many kills come through it, but this could be one.
Oh, it's close. I can't believe.
He's still there. My God.
That is actually so close. Maybe he's lucky to be alive.
Yeah. Dust himself down after that one. A 4-on-4 to close out the series, to round out the tournament. And maybe they needed a loss. Maybe they need to be humbled before Cologne, just to see what that feels like. Losing to NIP 2-0. You know, like it shows them they're not immortal.
Yeah, I actually don't think necessarily a bad thing. You know, obviously trying to lose, but I'm sure you're right. You know, it's going to keep them a little bit fresh.
How is this position always overlooked? Like people walk up with, like, oh, we're going to check it now that they have this time. But it always just seems like, well,
happens so much, doesn't it?
We won't fully commit to the look, but we'll be aware of it. But it looks like Big might have done enough here. That Molotov lands on Mages, could be in trouble. He is the last line of defense here towards A. Goes without saying he needs multiple frags. The flashbang catches him, and so does the AWP. Another wallbang here from Mantu.
Yeah, no reason for Apex to rotate on this one. You can't really do much of anything. So Big will find their first real rifle round in the second half, which has been a long time coming. But yeah, I think if you zoom out a little bit, the kind of opening that Mantu is doing, I feel like it's the kind of opening you actually need in the current meta game. You have to be able to take over some positions and create your own space. It can't just be you holding a corner for a long time, waiting around. Sometimes you just have to do it. Mantu's been doing it all tournament long. So
he's been great.
Yeah, and in terms of Big finally finding that AWP, if it keeps going like this, I would say, I think how many years they spent looking for it.
Well, it seems to be the dream signing. Given that context, they were never supposed to beat Vitality. Not at this point in their journey.
Nope.
It's unfortunate, but not over. Like, sure, you're out of this phase, but you're going into the showdown, right? Time to retool, prepare for next week, which will be an interesting mixed bag.
And you're still playing with Sin and Process that are still very, very new in the scene. Like, they have a lot of experience still to catch up on. So I'm sure in some sense, probably if you zoom out a little bit, probably still pretty good look for Big overall in the grand scheme of things. Nice little shot for Mantu, going to be his 27th victim in the middle there as he takes down Spinks and looks to see if they can win this 4 versus 5. Pretty quick movements coming in towards the archway. Got to be careful they don't overlook Apex. A really difficult position to check this one, and Tabson's not ready for it.
Very smart play from Apex. He's seen that trick before. ZywOo just going through the motions at this point, confirming these last couple of frags. I think we might be done here, ladies and gentlemen. 4-on-2 in favor of Vitality, confirming their place in the Royal Arena. An admirable effort here from Big. They had them on the ropes on Anubis. It felt like at one point they could keep up.
Yeah.
Great effort from Mantu, especially. New boy delivering each and every showing, but not quite enough here against one of the world's best, the current major champions. They will falter. A great showing. Crimbo, another one of the stars of the team. Good tournament for him.
Yeah.
But will have to be a memory at this stage as we come to our logical conclusion. Come on, Crimbo, give it to us.
He's trying.
Give us the final kill. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Your next team into the Royal Arena. The 5th team will be Vitality. Favorites at the start. 2-0 against EG, 2-0 against Complexity. They fell to the Ninjas. A wake-up call. But here they are. Another world-class performance, making light work of Big.
Yeah, and I would say this is a justified win overall, and it's good to see them qualified, definitely. But yeah, with a little bit of a zoom out, Big probably shouldn't be too dissatisfied. I think Crimbo's playing well again.
Yep.
Maybe Tabs hasn't fully found himself, but it seems like there's a lot of questions around how it's going to be happening there in the future. But Mantu is playing leagues above what you could be expecting. So I'm not necessarily too sad about the whole thing. Really happy to see, obviously, Vitality in the Royal Arena, where they definitely belong. So far, I mean, the lineup for the event is going to be insane. We're going to have some banging teams there.
First tournament for Flames as well, Anders. I think not a show-stopping performance, but they got the job done. Like, They had some great games, weren't tested too hard. And yeah, he seems like a perfect fit, and I think they're going to be, obviously, a scary team going forward.
That is what it looks like, and it's hard not to see how they're going to be just as strong, maybe even stronger with this new lineup. So I'm excited for it. We got James ready with the interview.
I got Flames with me here, his debut for Vitality, and you make it to the full final straight away. I just want to start by, though, looking at the situation on Anubis and just obviously being new to the team. How much practice, how much preparation had you individually had on that map with the guys?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have much time to practice. Like after we came back from the break, we did the bootcamp without PC, which kind of tackled the individual form with shooting, but it's for the greater good in the future. Yeah. So we didn't have much preparation and much things going on Anubis, like much practice, and we can learn from that and these reactions. But it was still a map we prepared obviously, and we prepared against Big for it, and we're just ready for it. But there is still some things that come to perform. You need more time and stuff like that with this map specifically. So yeah.
And overall, it's your first outing for Vitality. How would you describe your performance? How have you felt it's gone?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still trying to find myself, like my individual form. In OG it took me a while as well to figure out like how I need to play that will fit the team very good and also fit me very well and suit me and make me feel comfortable. And I'm still on it. And some maps I've already achieved it, and some maps I'm still struggling, and we work a lot on it. But it's progress. Like everything has progress. This is another progress in my life and another path that I need to improve a lot more. And I can see why they've been the best team last season. They won the major and stuff like that. But I still need to fit into that system and get better at it.
Well, you certainly showed us here to start off with. I look forward to seeing more of it, mate. Well done.
Wants to thrive as Vitality move on to the full finals. Great, considering they missed out on it last year, and two pretty clean CT sides to be closing out both of these maps, Jacob.
Brilliant from Vitality. They gave us exactly what we wanted, Matthew. They gave us a bounce back from the NIP game. They did it in a fashion where we were never in doubt they were going to win. Big did apply pressure in both games in the first half, but second half they fell short. Vitality came in there, they swept the floor, and honestly, I'm happy they qualified. I want to see them in Royal Arena.
Yeah, this is solid. This is the first good outing for this new roster of Vitality. This was also a good threshold test for Flames. Again, the fact that they lost the series to NIP is a good little sign, good little wake-up call to remember that you have to keep your level to the max if you want to reach the best, which I think they've done today. They've played with discipline, they were controlled.
Yeah.
I think they needed a couple of rounds on Anubis to kind of find the rhythm, but once they did, it was kind of over. And I'm liking this duo of Flamesy Apex that we've seen a little bit on Inferno. I think there is a whole lot of spark in one position.
Yeah, I want to ask about the T side of Vitality, though, to start off with, because obviously we were prefacing this saying it was a 16-1 versus Complexity. That's the only look we got to see from Vitality, meaning that we basically got to see one full T round from them. What did you learn about the first half from Vitality?
I learned that the spacing was good and the team play from Vitality were great. There was a lot of rounds actually where Big got the first couple of kills where Vitality found himself in a 3v5, but they got into such a good position they could always turn it around. And I think that's part of the DNA as well when you talk Vitality. As long as Spinks and Saivu is alive in a 3v5, you have to be super, super careful. And I think that's probably the feeling Big is left with here as well, that there were opportunities in that first half where they could have gotten even more rounds. Unfortunately, they couldn't capitalize.
Yeah, and we shouldn't forget as well that if there is ever one area where the one-for-one Flames Dupree should work, it's the T side. From the start up, it's supposed to be working. You're supposed to just slot him in this position, be very aggressive, take these risks, and create the spacing to allow then late round clutches to happen, which we know he can do. So once again, Vitality were always a very decent team on the T side of Inferno. I think they have a very interesting approach to taking long control, sensing the timings, not being shy from taking them. It was mostly the CT side, which was a question and will remain a question if we want to leave trophies.
Yeah, moving on to that second half, it wasn't necessarily the Flamesy show. It was ZywOo once again. I mean, the sun rises in the east. ZywOo will show up on at least one map in the series, this time too. Let's move into round 18 because I saw him having some instrumental impact there.
Yeah, he found some impacts. Him and Apex did a very good job. He's boosting his homie right here in Spinks, who gets a single kill together with ZywOo, combining for it, peeking with the scout. And at this point, it's 10-7. If Big wins this round, there's a good chance that the second half actually could be close. 4v4, they walk into CT spawn. Spinks can't hit anything with the deagle whatsoever, and then ZywOo happens. Not getting the kills, but tagging the opponents. Look at this second shot he's hitting right here. It's beautiful. It's classic. He stays alive, and it makes it so much easier for Apex now up from the bomb side to get a double kill. ZywOo comes in from behind, closes out the round, and at this point, the game died. Vitality took over. They cruise control to a victory, but had Big won this round, had it been 10-8, Vitality on a save, 10-9, we could have talked about a game that could have gotten closer, but ZywOo and Apex, they got it.
Yeah, particularly when we look at the round distribution and Big win both pistols on this map as well. We knew they were going to struggle on that T side. We saw it versus Heroic, and Vitality made it tough for them again.
Yeah, definitely. But I think Anders mentioned Manto, and I have to echo the sentiment. I didn't expect him to be the one actually putting up such crazy numbers against a team like Vitality. And even if we know that the aspirations are a little bit modest for Big at the very, very top, these are more than legitimate numbers that he put up against Vitality. So that's an incredibly good sign. I think this is a project that is in its infancy. A whole lot of players are in the beginning of what could be one day maybe a career at the top.
Yeah.
We are hoping for relevancy. We're looking for them. We are still transitioning from tabseN to Sin. Prozus is trying to find his marks. Mantu already is coming to his own. So listen, this was way too early for Big to make an impact. But if you think about the pieces that they have, I don't think they should be ashamed of the outing here in Copenhagen.
No, it's going to be a learning and development going forward. We will be seeing them in the showdown. So let's get a few departing words courtesy of Crimpo.
Looking at Anubis here, Crimbo, I want to just see, for you guys, it'd always been a good map for you, a key map for you, but same for going up against Vitality. What was like your thought process in having this as your pick going into this game?
I mean, we feel really comfortable on it. I think most of the teams, or like, let's say they probably expected overpass, or most of the viewers, I would say. But overpass was always a fight for us. It was always 16-14, always so close rounds, and we didn't feel so comfortable. On Anubis, it's a bit different. I mean, we had a kind of good start, but losing to these anti-ecos or like to these deagles or always break us, kinda. I mean, we won 3v5 as well and stuff like that. So we just played what we felt like we're feeling more comfortable as a team.
And it definitely felt like multiple times you had Vitality stress, but it was getting it over the line. But how do you view your performance just overall against them?
I think it was pretty, I would say it was okay. I think, of course, always closer than the result. I don't remember exactly what, probably like 16-13? Yeah, something like this on first map, and then on second map was kind of one-sided, but yeah, of course, some rounds, but I think it's okay. We lost versus Heroic, we lost versus Vitality. It's no shame. They are right now really good shape, both of the teams, and yeah.
So hopefully.
Yeah, certainly not results to be ashamed of. And we'll be seeing more of Big moving forward, as Cologne is just around the corner, but with a marked difference in their roster, Jacob.
Yeah, they're not playing with Manto and Cologne due to some roster locks and due to some rules. And I think Manto just put up a great case for him to be missed right in Cologne. The performance he had against Vitality, the way he's been playing in the tournament so far. I think Big right now feels quite comfortable that the pickup of Manto was a good decision. So unfortunately, not going to be in Cologne, but I'm sure we're going to see more of Manto and Big in the future.
And I think we're learning more about the Big's identity as we're moving forward, right? We're a little bit confused as to why they've moved into international waters, but Mantu is putting up a good case for that.
Yeah, listen, he is very efficient, that's right. But you talk about identity, I have to be honest, I don't really know where it's going to be. Like, we've talked about this a little bit Sin, a little bit tabseN, back and forth, short term, long term. I think it might be a little bit early for us to know what phase, what Counter-Strike Big do want to play. For now, it was more of a short term solution. tabseN can do it better. He can handle it. Let's do it. Sin, you can learn on the fly. Now, fast forward to 3 months from now, I don't know how they will play Counter-Strike.
Yeah, certainly. They have a whole season to be proving it to us moving forward. But we do progress on through the gauntlet. And gentlemen, one more matchup to be rounding off the Blast Premier 4 Groups 2023. And this one is an absolute banger to be rounding out. And we've got G2 versus Na'Vi after this break.
where to begin. So many choices.
One word that best describes my team.
I would go with Ravener. I think after the Paris Major, was hungry to show their potential, to show that this team can be picking up championships consistently.
Everyone on the team is working very hard. I think that we have lots of firepower on our team.
With Monacy on the AWP as well, I think he's one of the most exciting AWPers.
Monacy is definitely the most dangerous player in our team.
I think from our team, one player teams look out for should be Nico for sure.
For my money, the best rifler CSGO has ever seen.
Because this guy can buy the eagle. You know what you'll get.
They can find the firepower. They can find the morale to hold it all together. This team is deadly on their day.
The best word that describes us is new team. It's international team, it's a first for them.
It's different and needs some time for the adapt.
They took a risk. The CIS powerhouse is now an international roster. This is the most drastic change we have seen during the offseason, and I have zero clue what we're supposed to expect, which is why it's exciting.
Okay, it's simple as that.
He's doing a good job because he can win every clutch. It's very important for team.
It's probably the highest amount of pressure that he's going to have on his shoulders to perform.
Everyone is expecting a lot from us. Like I said, it's going to be a new field for us. A lot of play styles in this team, a lot of culture.
I have absolutely no clue how Navi is going to play Counter-Strike. They have to build from the ground up. If the players don't individually deliver, everything is going to fall apart. And this is nothing but a question right now.
Everyone needs to be scared to everyone because we are strong.
Ah, Simple. Oh. Simple on the doorstep of an ace right now. Yes, sir.
We never give up and we try to play the best Counter-Strike.
Hunter's calling it up. Oh, he almost gets checked. Great headshot, though. Follows it up to take down Patsy. Hunter absolutely saving the day.
G2 versus Navi in the final game of the full groups, and arguably two different ends of the identity spectrum. For Navi, it's a completely new one, a new language, a new in-game leader, a new star rifler, whereas for G2, we should, and I use should as the optimum word, know the identity of them now. It's been a bit back and forth, though. We've seen shaky legs from G2, which is what nets them the spot here, and the final opportunity to be going through to the full finals. We already have 5 teams have earned a spot there. A 6th now is up for grabs, and we have some damn big names there already, Matthew. G2
Yes.
and Navi both want to be there.
Yes, listen, for all we love wholeheartedly this format that gives us 67 games this entire 12 days, this one game packs an incredible punch.
Oh, yeah.
Not only in terms of quality and the teams that are going up against each other, but the stories, the stakes, the fact that there is that last spot for full finals, and the idea, yes, that G2 at times maybe can be a little bit lazy or complacent on the server, but when your name is simple, no one ever comes to the server feeling complacent and feeling easy. It's one of these names out there. There's not that many. It's a very short list. Everybody tries 100% the whole time. And this is why we get excited about this game.
Yeah, you certainly cannot be putting things lightly when you've got Simple on the other end of the server. But the name I want to bring into the mix is Alexi B, obviously the new person taking up the in-game leadership mantle on the side of Navi. And it's an interesting narrative, isn't it, Jacob?
Yeah, there's an interesting narrative when it comes to Alexi B. He's facing G2 for the first time since he got kicked from the lineup. We all know the history of Alexi B. His time in G2 weren't necessarily the best. He didn't find the success that we all expected, I guess. It was rumored that his style of leading didn't really fit within G2, and the results were a showcase of that. Now, within NIP, Alexi B's former team, he never played G2, and
That's
mainly
crazy.
It is crazy, but it's also a sign of the time that NIP weren't really that competitive, because that didn't work out either for Alexi B. Now he finds himself in Navi. He got another chance. Some people are saying he's been failing upwards. I think that's a little bit too rough to say about Alexi B, but he come into Navi now. He's playing alongside Simple, playing alongside some of the best players in the world, and I'm very curious to see if this man on your screen right here can find the same success that we saw him have in Ends, because ever since, it's been kind of lackluster.
Yeah, let's go ahead and check in with the man himself about coming up against his former team.
And how do you view the team chemistry that you guys have on Navi now compared to when you started Blaster today?
I think we're still searching it, because I feel like at times we can we feel like when we're talking about or going through the officials or whatever, I feel like sometimes we lose to ourselves. Not meaning that, like, yeah, sometimes we don't hit our shots or something, a small mistake here and there. But I feel like we could feel more as a unit, as a team, and that's something we're still finding. And I feel like we've been better, a lot better since day one, and I think we're going upwards. So for us, it's good stepping stones, but we can still improve, definitely.
And looking at G2 with their current form, what do you make of them right now?
I think G2 obviously they're being shaky after their solid tournament runs with the wins they got, but now I feel like they've been shaking against worse opponents, if I would say so, and I don't think they play too sloppy when they play the better opponents. I mean, I've been a part of G2 for some time, and I know that the team felt more alive when playing top opponents. Okay. So they definitely will take us serious, and just the fact that they played against Navi a million times and they struggled at some point, and then they clinched over them, and today I hope to come out on top.
You got extra motivation considering they replaced you with Huxi?
Yeah, I mean, sure, but I feel like it's a bit funny since I was in NIP before this, and we didn't play a single time against them, somehow managed to dodge each other in tournaments. But now the time has come and we're playing against them. Obviously the losing team will go to the showdown, so yeah, you could say that they kind of get dropped out of the tournament, but either team still has a chance. But still, I think it's going to be a fun match.
I'm loving those thoughts from Alexi, not least because, you know, he's been on the side of G2 and he knows they get a little extra kick in their butts when they go up against another top team.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about, right? G2 is going to take this game extremely seriously, and even if this sounds like a blanket statement, what we actually mean is that everybody's 150% in the game and the comms are going to be high and the intensity is going to be there. No, I will say it. I think this is a perfect time for Alexi B to play against G2. If you think about the conditions and the context, you're looking at a G2 that didn't make a change in the roster mania, as we talked about. They have all the veterancy in the team. They have the namesake. Navi's a brand new team. We don't even know if they have a map pool. By all accounts, they should be beating them. But personally, I favor Alexi B over Huxi. I don't really have a doubt on that one. I think it's a great moment to strike.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think the context right now is that Alexi B and Navi can go into this game with as little pressure as they'll probably ever be in the Navi camp against a team like G2. Because you're right, Matthew. We came into this tournament and we didn't know what to expect from Navi. And we've seen them, as Alexi B said in that interview, they're getting better each game. Every single time they join the server, we're getting a sense and emotion of them progressing, getting better, getting more played together. Simple have been playing well. Emma have been stepping up. Even Bit had a great showing last time we saw them. So there's a lot of positive signs attached to Navi right now that we didn't necessarily expect this early on.
Yeah, just think about the context of the games that Navi have played so far. It's been 2 losses to Heroic. That's the only L's that they've actually received. And that second series, we mark that as our favorite game of the tournament so far because Navi did look competitive in that.
Yeah, and it was probably a series where they learned a whole lot about themselves and how they react under pressure. And when these rounds getting to the last 20 seconds with high-level decision-making, I'm sure that they are better off now than after that. We have the result right there. I mean, let's also address the elephant in the room. Who complains about looking at Simple versus Nico, right? These are two unique individuals that we have in the game. And as much as you would like to think Simple always had Nico's number, if you think about this year, actually, by the numbers, Nico is having a better year. The metrics are just here. He is up there. You can see 1.23. That's pretty crazy in itself. But I just feel like the pressure on this man's shoulder, Nico, that is, it's ridiculous. On an individual perspective, it's ridiculous. I'm having Zaiwu flashbacks right now.
What we saw yesterday against EG.
Yes, I'm still not over it.
Unbelievable. The scoreboard, he went plus 47. I think the next mate on his team was +1. It was Zaiwu all over again. So yes, when we talk Nico, of course, there's an added pressure on his shoulders, but I think it's the same case for Simple, to be completely honest. You have the comparison right here yesterday as well. Nico against EG compared to the average of his team against EG yesterday. It was a one-man army. He averaged 31 kills over 3 maps. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Absolute insanity. And I would hope that there is going to be, you know, at least one other member of G2 willing to step up today. We obviously saw, you know, Huxi having some issues. Hunter as well, surprisingly lackluster throughout that whole series.
Yeah, listen, I think we'd be remiss if we said that both m0NESY and Hunter are providing what they're supposed to. I mean, listen, we know how strong JKS can be and how reliable he can be, but there is a reality attached to the positions that he plays and the responsibility that he's got. When you have Hunter and m0NESY in your team, it is not supposed to be Nico's show. Of course, by the metrics, he's the best player on that roster. I'm okay with that, but there cannot be such a discrepancy as we have seen. So these two players, m0NESY and Hunter, have to provide more than they have so far.
Well, before we do go ahead and dive into this series, let's go ahead and check in with Coach Swanee.
Swanee, Hooksy said that you guys played bad yesterday, but obviously there was times where you were coming back on Nuke, for example, where there was certainly a chance to win it, and EG still held their own. So I want to just ask you what exactly it was when you guys are saying you played badly and why that game was so tough.
I think especially on our T side, we sometimes lack initiative, and it makes us lose our timings. And we played the rounds pretty bad from there. But I think on CT side especially, we are starting to play better. We are having a lot of more initiative, and that's why we are also capable of coming back on CT side, both on Nuke and on Mirage. So I just think our T sides, we just need to have more initiative, more balls, and go more on the kills.
And in terms of that, the guys also talk a lot about the pressures of just representing G2, right, and what that means. Can you just explain to me how that affects you guys? And is that why we maybe in games like the EG1 see you guys play a bit more scared, obviously, except for Nico?
Honestly, never thought about taking pressure because we're called G2. I think maybe it's in the brain of the viewers, but for us, yeah, but I don't know, like the management doesn't give us any pressure, for example, but I think maybe it is because when you are G2, you don't want to lose against EG, for example. I mean, it's in the back of your head that we are still miles ahead of them. But once you start playing scared and you have it in your brain, then you lose the timings and everything because you don't want to make the mistakes.
And mistakes certainly can't happen in a game like this today versus Na'Vi. But you've only had like less than a day to prepare. So what do you guys even talk about? What has been the focus for you?
We focused more on ourselves. Like yesterday in the evening, we had a little talk to get on the same page again, especially on the T sides. And we spoke about the things I just said about taking initiative, taking more risks. Like nobody will blame each other if you take your timing and in the end you die, but at least you tried something instead of just waiting out the round and sitting there and doing nothing. So we just got on the same page again and made sure that our bottom level is rising up a bit, because right now, like against teams like EG, we should still win if we are at like 60%. So our bottom level just has to rise because we have a lot of high highs and really low lows, and it cannot happen. Like we need to have a good line and being very consistent.
Okay, some interesting thoughts coming in there from Swanee. I'm not sure I totally agree that they were playing too scared yesterday versus EG.
I'm getting slightly tired of hearing that sentence being thrown out by pretty much everyone whenever they lose a game. We were too scared, we didn't take enough initiative, etc., etc. It's like saying you're playing your own game. We saw multiple times yesterday on Mirage against EG that all the G2 players individually felt they had to make the difference. One player walked out of ramp, one player walked out top middle, one player walked in towards the B side, and they all tried to make it happen. Why don't you play it together? Why don't you do it in synergy? Why isn't that not your focus? I don't believe that it was lack of confidence or lack of initiative yesterday. It was lack of team play and lack of synergy.
They definitely have to be bringing that to the server today, as G2 taking on Na'Vi as our final game of the Blast Premier full groups. We've got Inferno, we've got Mirage, and I sure as hell hope we go all the way to Nuke to round things out after this.
Good evening. It's the last match. Okay, we've been here for something like 2 weeks, games after games, days after days. Production's been worked to the bone. And now the Unicorn odds have G2 favorited as the last winners of the Blast Fall groups. Scrawny and Launders to take you guys through this last chance for both of these teams who most certainly want it and arguably both need it. G2 to prove that without any roster changes, this team can still go on to qualify for big opportunities and dispatch of other talented players. And of course, Na'Vi as a set of very talented players coming together and trying to hit the ground running. Very important matchup, I think, for both of their confidences heading into a large event like Cologne. And so this best of three, it's got a little beef in it. And I'm ready to watch these guys unleash on one another.
That's true. You know, we have some teams that, won early but didn't win their later matches. So for both of these guys, this is going to be the one that matters. Neither roster sort of has their big win here at the groups. This will be the hardest team that they could potentially beat. And this is Alexi versus G2 for the first time, which is crazy because he already played on NIP. So we'll see what goes down now because I have no idea.
No, I'm just going to let them speak for themselves with violence. Alexi B. Uh-oh. Hiding in the back of the site. Can't even get into cover. Hooksy just calls a straight up 5-guy rush down banana.
What a call.
So next time you call that in your game, remember, it's a pro strat.
That's wild. The fast B play, it's perfect out of spawn, but now 4v4 in the retake.
Yeah.
And we are looking at one smoke and a kit.
Ooh.
It's retakeable.
Ooh, the makings of a retake are definitely in place here. Fast jump challenge on Smoked. Simple's quick on the trigger for the trade. Nico holds off on Nubox. He's got a teammate in JKS looking at that CT cross smoke. Comes out backside. No one was watching. Simple didn't get cover. And Nico kills two. Down to the last. Charged down by Bit, but there's...
no time. And he's going to die. Wait, whoa. Wait, what?
Is he alone?
Oh my god, wait, what?
He keeps his Kevlar and his kit and his Berettas, but G2 take the first one.
Oh my goodness, I thought the bomb... Everything I know is out the window. But he keeps that. He keeps that Kevlar. That's what's important.
And the kit.
And the kit. So no retake takes place, but a good attempt. And what a call out of spawn here from G2 to go right into B. And we know how fearsome their T side on this map can be.
Very true.
They're looking to make Na'Vi just another statistic.
Like those poor suckers struck by lightning. You don't know any of their names. Na'Vi could get ground to dust tonight. I doubt it, but it's possible.
He's throwing it out there.
Just saying. There's a chance.
That's true.
Fom is here for Simple. One of two smokes as well on his utility belt. Very little A presence as short side and the apartments are completely evacuated. They're hoping for that B lean coming out of G2. And Nico, well, looking at it. I just want to see both these teams play good CS, clean CS.
It's not going to be clean.
Ah, but that's what I want.
Because at groups, both these teams have actually been the culprits of losing to like the most ecos that I think we've ever seen.
Well, maybe tonight could be the end of that. Simple's Fomist killing Hooksy. Oh my god!
The 4 kills! We got one left.
But how? It's a Fomist.
It's the genius Alexi B call.
JKS gonna tap down Bit ever so slightly. Simple comes through with 4 kills top mid on a Fomist.
It's the perfect start for maximum chaos. We get the force buy win in the second round from Na'Vi. We get the amazing pistol on the opener. We got Alexi versus Na'Vi for the first time. I mean, this is just, it couldn't be any sweeter than this.
It's an angle, folks.
And you know what I'm gonna say? Simple has got his eye on Monacy. Okay, there's been so many comparisons between these two, even though Simple is, closer to Zaiwu than he is to Monacy or something like that. But in terms of next gen,
yeah,
there is that Inferno game, or that series where Monacy went up, I think, like 16 kills to 0 on Simple in the kill matrix, something absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, as Zywoo and Simple are kind of, you know, wheel to wheel, back and forth, taking the lead from one another over the last few years, every time either of them look in their rearview mirror, m0NESY's back there.
He's in a sports car.
Cruising. Some days catching up, some days losing pace. So tonight will be one of those opportunities for Simple to let some air out of his wheels.
Yeah, I mean, quietly, there are only a few rookie years better than m0NESY's. Even though he didn't get the top one, he didn't get the major in his first year like Bit, he didn't get, like, you know, comparable to the super elites, he's still top 10 in his first year. Insane.
JL's gonna drop a smoke back sight. Okay, he holds on. Alexi helps out there with the Hooksy kill. Hunter's Tech 9 gets to the back site, grabs bomb, and plants. So it's a successful entry coming out of G2. It's also still a comfortable retake to be set up, and this is where we look for something crazy. Like that. m0NESY goes in, pops Ima, and then holds on. Bit frags back, man. Advantage
no
still
molly.
Working for Na'Vi. They've got a frag grenade. They'll throw that out. Softens up Nico down to 58. His Deagle's looking feisty. When does he peek and where? Towards CT cross, dropping half of Bit. He still has Hunter in the corner. It's the Kovac clutch queued up, but the time is there. Or is it? Bit has to switch out with the kit.
Yeah.
And he's good. It's good. They've got it. Whew. No problem.
Comes close, but they lock it down. And they have the advantage. It'll be interesting to watch the Alexi BJL combo here.
Sure.
Sometimes, of course, Simple is going to be on the B site to start rounds off, so it's not going to exclusively be that. But again, when we talk about Alexi B, it's always an IGL, first of all, to pair with someone else. Usually a star rifler in IGL, you know, Hooksy Nico, for example, over on the B site. And Alexi will be in IGL over here on the B site. But Alexi, compared to some of the other IGLs, does better as an individual on average. That's a boon for Na'Vi. Oh, okay. That's
what's up there.
Classic Nico moment here at the bottom of Banana.
Ooh, he's got Alexi. Yep, gunning him down. Oh no!
Oh.
Loses the duel.
Oh, and then the smoke comes out and Alexi gets 2.
Man, I thought Alexi was dead to rights.
Yeah, for sure. Look at
Nico
that, 2 HP.
Gunning for him. And m0NESY also kind of, you know, vacuumed into that whole situation. Instead, Alexi hits him with the quicker picker-upper. Does still leave everybody else on G2 sat behind the smoke. Simple's going to look down mid, though. He's not afraid of you. Although, with reason, caution shown towards the apartments. Remember, Alexi's low.
Yep, the re-exec is coming in. Ima with the rotation.
But no utility for Ima. Just spams through it instead. Alexi's still waiting, has to fall off with the flash.
Oh, he
got
dinked him.
A drive
and the molly.
Unfair. Unlucky.
The molly's perfect as well. They have to fall back for a second. Time goes down.
Simple's already come through from the CT side. Ime doesn't decide to push out around Coffin, so they've got a little room to work with, but it's an easy pickup on Hooksy, and look at the health here, folks. Poor G2.
Has to be headshots.
And nasty ones. Alexi falls, Simple trades, Ime does get cleared, and there was a chance at maybe one more, but the CTs just had those numbers and the health advantage, so they'll follow through with that 3-1 start, and Simple is off to the races.
It's probably in the best interest of us to keep track of the ecos, and so far there's, or even force buys, anything in that realm in this series, because again, both these teams have they've been giving up a lot of these rounds. To different opponents, mind you, so we'll see if that changes in this matchup. But I think you're right, like we are going to see at least the most refined so far in this matchup. But the counter to that is that it's also such a pressured matchup. It's definitely a rivalry matchup. It's definitely two teams that would see themselves in the fall final in any other situation. So high stakes here. And I think the team that loses this match knows they're going to receive a lot of criticism just on this alone, even if it's an overreaction of some sort. So just to add to the pressure.
Nobody would overreact, would they?
It's me.
It's me. Yeah, I'm that guy. I got 2 tweets in the drafts. Whoever loses is getting it. Bunch of players up in the apartments with their pistols. They've got the util for it. You know, keep your sticky note close, Launders. This could be one of those half-buy ticks to the G2 favor. We'll see. Util comes out. Flashbangs. Ime drops a molly in response. Frags are good. Fantastic, in fact. JL's there to drop 1 on the approach, but then he dies. Oh, and Ime missing his first shot, sprays into the bomb plant, denies it. Nice recovery considering he lost Bit and then that first rotate in JL. Now he's the beast in the bomb site, and poor G2 can't get beyond this.
Yeah, and he can chill in cold. It's hard angle to clear. I mean, they're going to approach him at some point. Oh, Hooksy just holds the angle.
Gives it up.
That patience works out. All right, they have pit control, but they got Hooksy, the AK, on 40 HP, and Nico, Deagle, in halls, waiting 26 seconds, and the flank's going to come in.
It's free to cross, though.
Nico's going to clear this out, but he has to go join up to plant this bomb. Alexi's going to take the best spot on the map in the retake, and now the timing just works out so beautifully for Alexi. Like, they can't be watching halls.
Simple's going to come out with the Desert Eagle. Here's the run. Alexi's got it. Yep, perfect. Sometimes it's not about the mechanics, it's about the positioning. And Alexi B positions himself perfectly to shut down the 2v2 and give Na'Vi, again, continuation to this early CT side.
Yep. That was a super solid attack with the nades, with the sight hit coming up lane. They beat the molly. And, you know, when you get the free kill on Pit, that's huge. But Imma makes an amazing play here. I mean, he goes out extremely wide. There's a temptation when there's a front side smoke like that to just sit cold and wait for the bomb to get planted and spray through the smoke in case the bomb gets planted there. So Hooksy's not prepared for that reaction at all. Or sorry, whoever was planting the bomb in that situation. And that's why Imma, with that heads-up play, takes the round for Na'Vi.
Yep, and he got the praise from Simple. You see him look down the line in the post round.
Like, everyone knows you've got to take initiative in these games, but it's a different animal entirely to know when.
Okay.
In the situations where you take initiative and you're wrong, you're selling the round, you're throwing, you're doing this, right?
Yeah.
So it's confusing for a talented player, but not one with enough experience to be like, this is my moment to play how I used to that made me so good in the first place.
Yeah. But you can't lose all of that main character energy.
Yeah,
you gotta hold on to it.
You do, exactly. And that's, again, that's what makes it so difficult. Wow, the rotations are very good for Na'Vi. I mean, they read into this perfectly. Nico left alone on top of Banana as usual. Okay, now the bomb's coming back. Everyone's coming back.
Damn, JL's about to have his hands full. He's got a smoke that he could put down before they come through with the commit.
Yeah, it's...
What's Alexi rotating with? Nothing, just the gun as well. Spam's hopeful, but he gets charged down. Nico takes it onto himself to charge through that smoke, give chase to JL, and honestly, just good timing call here from G2. They catch Na'Vi unprepared on the B site.
So they leave Alexi to look for some damage, maybe some kills. We'll see how he plays this, but of course this is a save. That's, I wonder what the information was there. So much conviction in the rotation back. And the only reason you know that wasn't part of the original plan was because they didn't need that many people on A before the brackets control took place to sell a fake and come back to B. They wouldn't want to have to all run. So there must have been some tell there for Na'Vi that they read into perfectly. And it's actually a question whether or not G2 knew they were even ready for the A attack in the first place, or if they were just wrong from the beginning and feel like they have a bad rotation. It's a feather in the cap of Hooksy and the team.
Doesn't feel like a round Na'Vi should be too frustrated about. G2 are going to win some.
Maybe more confused.
Yep.
Because they rotated fast and it seemed like they were right, so...
You raise a brow to one like that. Maybe a little squint.
Give him a nod.
and come back with some kind of a response, like pushing JL behind sandbags and giving him that third player as support. Na'Vi not keeping the B site looking the same in round 7 as it did in 6. 5v4.
That's just such a big player to be able to win versus on Banana at any point in the round.
It's a good start for everybody on Na'Vi as well in this game. That's something, too, we're kind of looking forward to with this new roster. You got Simple at the tippity top. You got Bit not dying. Contribution from the other 3.
As strong as that, this exact timing could actually work out, even though they're 4v5. It's 4v2 on the site right now.
Boosted player holds. Ooh, doesn't finish it off. But at least JL does find Hunter because JKS cracks Alexi B in the forehead. You got a player already climbing onto the boxes in sight, and the plant will go down. They started this execution with a man disadvantage, and their post-plant will have the same issue, but smoke grenades going down, blocking off vision. 0 banana presence coming out of Na'Vi. Coffins is about to get real claustrophobic. But with the numbers, they could just trade train their way through to the retake. Hooksy catching Simple, big pickup, and JKS still yet to activate. Doesn't swing off the frag. Little bit of an angle. Goes to CT with Modesty, and with a man down, G2 hit this B site, follow through, and win consecutive rounds.
Something I love about the way that Hooksy calls T-side Inferno, and that's just the fact that his team is never scared when they have lost a player, whatever it is, because they understand the power of just getting the ball down on beachside Inferno. The exec looks like it's full strength. They don't need 5 players to pull this off. So as long as in his mind they see there's only 2 players here, or this is the right timing for the site hit, everyone comes in with full confidence. They have the best exec in all of Pro CS, and they lock it down because it's 4v2. Again, imagine those 3 players on A don't exist. Doesn't matter. That's a 5v4. And they did that. They did that without Nico, right? Right at the beginning of the round. Yep. So that's why they get the 70% T-side win rate on Inferno. It's partially because Nico exists, but also because they've got layers, they've got protocols, they've got backup plans.
Ooh, Bit saw that. He saw the grenade go by, so he'll peek out and take a free one.
Count the ecos. Count the ecos.
I've already lost track.
No, we only have 1 so far, right? I think.
I don't know. I lost track.
Just the second round, I think, so far. You did just say that.
Modesty. Oh, lucky to be out. Simple just missed. Simple missed.
Simple missed.
Keep track of that too. I feel like honestly there might be less of those moments than Ecos, but
yeah, 9 and 2. So
it's that Desert Eagle.
All right, 1 player alive in Boiler, but you know how strong Boiler is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
Bit.
He's not stopping.
Coming out with a Desert Eagle.
Yeah, go in the gasket.
Nothing over towards Banana.
Are they gonna go B?
Well, they could.
Are they splitting towards B?
Looks likely.
Ooh, that's the wrong play. We've got to push down an alt. CT's not moving right now. They might peek. Nico might need to nail one to lock this in. But he seems a little worried right now.
But they're also not concerned about this wraparound.
Yeah, we'll see what Imma does here. If he peeks or if he'll just die. Okay.
Just heard it.
But still the flank here on Banana. Nico's watching it.
Oh, timings could get nasty. Nope, they're good. Hooksy, Alexi.
Okay.
Nico cracking heads here, making sure all goes down smoothly.
The harder site to get to, but thorough enough. They don't have anything to worry about.
So other than Bits, Desert Eagle, nothing else finds its home.
We're still on 1 Eco. This is a 3v5 win though. 4v5 win last round for G2. 3v5 here versus the Eco. If Na'Vi gets 7-8 rounds, that's probably enough. Because that's in the face of G2's T side, you know, so it's a very special conversation with G2 on this map. Because they're so strong on this attack.
This is a map. Oh, I started to speak before I know for certain.
I think it should stay in the pool.
I was going to say, it's a map that, you know, we saw these crazy stats for G2 for some time, but it's started to wane lately.
Yeah, they lost like their 4 recent losses in the last 2 months or something.
Yeah. What's going on with that?
Honestly, Hooksy, individually, I think.
Sure, yeah.
I think I really think he's like he's shown really strong calling, of course, like January, February was like, but individually, man, he was actually so good at that time and fell off so much.
Luckily for G2, of course, this event has been a great outing for their Inferno. They've played it twice against OG and EG, 16-6, 16-7. It's important to not let those teams get close. You wouldn't want people thinking you're equals. Not if you're G2. JL thinking about it. We saw a nice three-player setup.
Good timing on this.
Flash is good. Nice.
Oh my
I love that he snaps it back to Hooksy after. Goes for Nico on the edge of the smoke.
He said, "You're funny, I'll kill you last."
But you're still not getting away. Then he gets boosted on new box.
Yeah, that's ideal.
He's got Alexi down beneath him.
And Alexi's holding the smoke.
And an incendiary if he needs it. Plus Bits coming over with a flash into pit. That's going to stall it out. I believe Hunter just shot. I heard an AK. So the rumblings of this B hit are heard. And it is the CT's on high alert. JL sitting up top, sitting pretty. But Hunter gets by. Oh, Hunter takes two. And Bit, despite a frag, is traded back by m0NESY. They're a little concerned with back sight, but they've done an excellent job of puncturing through a bomb site that looked so prepared and ready. I mean, Bit came in as support.
4v5, 3v5, and maybe another 3v5. G2 here. Have to just defend the post plant. This should be the easy part. No nades to come in for the CT side. Yeah. And they're walking away. Oh my God, the trades. Those flashes. They caught everybody. I mean, that should have been a layup for sure for the hold. They had good spots.
Yep.
The boosting quad where they don't have to worry about the molly. But the flashbang is beautiful.
Really good.
I mean, you're dodging most flashes, of course, from that position. Oh, okay. No op taken forward.
Mission accomplished.
Still some money here because, again, 3v5. 4v5, 3v5, 3v5.
Fee-5. Keep it fit. Good moment there from Hunter. Just gets blasted by Bit a second later. I think a part of his soul just left his body.
You see the opportunity. I mean, it's JL who also does everything right there. I mean, it's Alexi and him with the flash timing that's perfect. And nothing can take away from that, but you feel the round being lost, you know. It's nice to say, oh, we had a good start at least, but...
Oh, just to throw the nade, Hooksy followed through. Look at him go!
Oh, to the op.
Yeah, right into the scope of Simple. Drops down into pit. JKS on the chase.
Interesting smoke here from Simple.
Oh, but he gets spotted. Bits here to support it. You've got two pistols in the site.
Wow.
All they had was Simple's op. Missed shot from him, but he's still got a lot of health.
Yeah.
And they know about that threat in the bomb site. Bit connects again. They're going to pressure that bomb. m0NESY's got a chance to claw it back. Nico could definitely help, but he's got to be careful because Alexi's coming through Arch. And they've lost their bomb for now. They've got the time to take this back, but they have to be careful. Oh, Nico! Both kills on Arch side. And suddenly, it feels doable, but you know they have to bank on m0NESY because Nico's got 5 health.
Oh, Bit comes out, actually, onto the bike.
Grabs an AK, concerned about apartments.
Does he get away? They're going halls.
Now they're thinking about, again, that arch wrap potential. Nobody's looking at apartments. Bits just looking back and forth. Simple still holds off on the short angle. They're down to 25 seconds. This is going to be a fight. m0NESY's being set up to just jump through.
Bit's in a great spot.
He's going to fly out. Oh, man.
No, Bit took a big risk there by getting into lane, right? Because they could easily come from Boiler, but hard to predict for G2 in that spot. And maybe they should have just split lane and halls. At least they tried to come forward with a tactic, but yo, shout out to Simple for this hold. First kill, Simple. First kill is easy, sorry. Then the smoke as he falls back into a pit allows him to take this advantageous line on lane. And he doesn't get the kill, but they're afraid of him. And then the site guys, after the distraction, are able to find theirs. And he stays mobile, stays alive to the end of the round, gets to big pit. Otherwise, he'd be stuck in mini the whole time.
So do we put that one on the counter? Because it was one op only pistol.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's 2 for Na'Vi for sure.
All right. 2 out of 10. Meh. Stuck.
Oh, they know there's still 2 players here.
JL though, good angle. Can't manage the third one. But Alexi's not too far away, and JKS will fall victim.
Look at this, they left the B site entirely.
It looks like G2 are going to try to go seize this because Alexi's up in CT spawn. They've got the read. Hooksy's telling them to get in, and who are you banking on? Nico and Monacy.
There's the Molly.
2 highest rated players on this map for G2 across the last 6 months, hands down. Monacy relegated to the Deagle. That smoke's about to fade. You got 3 CTs coming at you. They just pressed through. Nico almost saw it. He did. Simple takes a risk. Takes a shot between the eyes. AK tap at that distance doesn't go well. And the Deagle misses its chance. Turns over. And Na'Vi not going to fall victim to that.
They definitely could have gone wrong. Of course, we know how strong those positions can be, even on low guns. So G2 can't pull it off. JL's hold in CT spawn. That's huge. Great flash to start things out for G2 to take over lane control, to get Imma blind. But the rotations are insane here for Na'Vi. They take the risk of pulling both players out of the B side. JL gets 2, Alexi gets 1, and then makes it back to B. And even though we can see the taps are very close, ultimately it was 3v2 on the retake. You know, they should be comfortable doing that. Well, it's been a great game both ways. Lots of solid plays here, but you know what? In terms of the upset wins, Na'Vi got the second round. They got that last one with only 1 op in play. They're fighting hard on the CT side.
Simple looking to make money. Nico looking to enact revenge. G2 can take their sweet time here. No rush. Good game so far.
Absolutely.
Yeah, love that. It's really what we all wanted.
As messy as it is, I thought it was going to be messier. You know,
Sure.
like
Yeah, no, it still
like
feels
the
high
eco plays
level.
are still pretty great from Na'Vi. You could say that at least.
No, it just feels like when you've got 2 teams this high for potential, it's bound to get a little crazy. Crazy? Man advantage Na'Vi. Splitting it between the sites. Rush that bomb site, boys. Get your plant. You deserve the money. Slightest chance this goes well. Yeah. Okay. Nico hits the Deeg. He's looking at Pit. Okay. Pit's going to close it. He was looking the right direction. Could have put down the bomb, but no, sir. CT's thriving.
And we'll see how the half ends because it's still kind of close. But if Na'Vi just like win from now, and the only reason I say that is because, again, as amazing as it is to win rounds after dropping the first death, G2 have had to do that 3 times in a row. That's not sustainable. So it's cool that they did that, but you want to pair those. You want to have more rounds where you won, where you got the opening kill, and then have some cool rounds where you had a 3v5 and a 4v5. Overall, you could say Na'Vi definitely playing like quite a bit better from that perspective, but again, still some rounds left in this first half to decide exactly what strength both these teams are sitting at.
No name on that nade. Nico lets him pop, then starts to foray towards Banana. Wouldn't blame G2 for keeping it up on these consistent B hits. It's where they've done some of their best work. It's where they've come back from disadvantages. It's where they, at the very least, always seem to put down bomb. Ooh, and give it a chance just now was Nico.
Yeah, separates the attack though, so they'll have to slow down. Nico can't go through this by himself, right? Oh yeah, that was pretty big.
Alexi.
Oh my God.
He's not even watching
There's
it.
a poofy CT smoke. Is that what we're looking at?
Yeah, no, that's Nico's smoke in front of it as well. Oh God, jumping over. Nico ambitious. He saw Alexi, sure, Hunter's able to spray him down, but it just gets so weird.
Oh, the support op is helping too here.
Yeah, it looked like there was a gap on the smoke towards Banana. There was a gap on the smoke towards CT, and then there was that front side smoke as well. That was
They felt great about that timing, but that was a really plump, fresh smoke from CT side, and they were playing in front of it, and the rotation was not that far away. So, unlike previous situations, G2 have gone through a smoke, but it was just versus 2, and it was actually an easy site to take. This one did not look that appealing, right? I mean, that was a lot of smoke they had to run through.
A lot of smoke, and smoke with holes in them. So, gets a little weird. CS2, a frag grenade clears all that right up.
True.
No problem.
That's where G2 going to take that first major, maybe. Domed.
Welcome back, Simple.
Gotta say, Simple's playing pretty damn well right now. That's true, too.
That is a sight for sore eyes. Seeing his frustration out of the gate. Was worried that, this new project could maybe bog him down. But nothing should bog him down. He's Simple. Monacy cleared out from the corner. These pistols trying to do what they can. And they will open up one step closer to the site, but it's still defended by Bit. He's got support inbound. They're going to throw some nades in order to secure the cross and almost
Hunter
off. Rotate. Missed the timing. Bit still doesn't have vision. Library player applying pressure via util. Alexi sees the gap on that Moto smoke and now bombs down by a graveyard. Hunter switches out to the sidearm, but he gets stuffed between the two players left, and it's Navi on fire with 9.
I thought we were going to get like a Rain up moment. You know what I mean?
Sure.
1 for 1.
Rain averages 1 kill with the op per month since he has joined FaZe in 2016.
I too have read it.
1 per month.
That's pretty funny. And it was like this year was like...
Yeah.
Is that his first this year? Was that also the thing? Yeah.
It's like his, cheat day.
And you know what? It was a hard shot. he wasn't ready, you know what I mean? Like that was a...
Must feel so foreign to him. Like, wait, you right click? Like, think about how few times Rain uses the right click.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
that middle finger does nothing.
Thing to think about, yeah.
Molotov front sight. Alexi trying to hold off for the final assault of G2 in this half. And they're going to stall out for a second. They've got one guy over towards CT. He doubles back. Nice change. Oh, but it still gets shattered. Clean headshots coming out of the two G2 players. Ime goes, clears them both. Nicely done. I love that. Applies just the right amount of pressure. But what I love more is watching the Flash queue up a clutch. And so with Simple and Ime on the other side, Banana gets blocked off. They've got no clue about where he is. Now they've seen him, and he's getting toyed with by the Romanian, who swaps to the sidearm to close this out. It is indeed 10 rounds for Navi's CT side, putting a dent in what's supposed to be a fantastic G2 T side.
Hello, I'm Monacy. I am analyzing just 1 round. Let's go. So, he has really good skins, I would say. It's Ruby and really good close. So he's gonna play B. They're starting 3B. Slashing really deep. Peeking the top. There's a thing I'm doing as well. So he's getting the frag. I'm not sure, but maybe it's even me peeking because who knows, right? So he's picking Banana with the first spawn. They're starting 3B. Op is picking Banana, flashing deep for the Oper. Because usually, like, when Oper is on T side, he's holding the Banana. Like this flash which he's throwing now, like he's like flashing the guy who's staying with Op and holding car with Op. So that's good pick, I would say. And I'm usually like, if I have good spawn, I can call it. And I'm picking Banana, and you should do it only with a good spawn, like with the first spawn towards B. third guy should smoke for you, like they did. They should smoke your car, so you will get like, I would say like not one way, but the smoke will extinguish the Molotov, so it's good. And the second guy just throwing some Molotov for Bell or like just the banana, so yeah, it's a good pick. So now he's maybe a little bit, yeah, he's leaving the smoke on city. Honestly, like, okay, they're playing 3A, okay. Okay, that play was not bad, I would say. Like maybe they, like T-side maybe expected that Op will fall back towards A and he will not stay. And they just like bought a little bit of time on banana and they just flash peeked with fallen flash. Now he's just leaving the smoke for banana and just leaving towards A, I guess. The guy on banana is getting a lot of frags, I would say. Not bad. Yeah, he's holding the good angle with Op from Arch. I remember I was holding here with them for I missed 2 people and we lost the anti-force round. Now he's leading towards B. Maybe it's already like, I don't know, less than 40 seconds on the time. They want to create some setup on banana, like sandbags plus corner, it's good. Op is getting first contact, the guy on sandbags is dodging the flash. Also he has a molly, he's killing the guy. That's me. We were playing here with Nico together, I remember. Because like I realized when this guy, me, flick shotted the guy on the broken wall. And yeah, after just traded Nico on banana. I mean, definitely he played really good CS in this round.
Coils. Boost city. In the smoke. Close that. CT.
I'll take smoke.
Don't smoke.
How many fast CT?
A lot ruins, guys. Do it, please. No, op ruins.
Okay, then I'm gonna pick on you guys, okay?
Yeah. Listen, Rasmus, you guys play on Rasmus, okay? Yeah.
I'm blind. You got one.
I'm playing on you.
Two more ruins.
Playing on you.
The head of
Coils, man.
One more. Nice. Last ruins.
Ruins. I'll pick on you. Do.
Nice.
Played. Let's go. Take up, maybe. Where is it there?
Nice goal. Up again. Nice, guys.
All right, G2 getting a little amped there. That was, of course, one of their 5-round wins throughout this half.
And you have to appreciate those wins for the way they were played.
Sure.
But if you want to talk about first kills, if you want to talk about opening tactics, if you want to talk about overall rounds won, if you want to talk about ecos won, Na'Vi dominated that half.
That they did. 9 successful opening duels. Simple 3-0 in them, in fact. And in the case of the murdered G2, I present the accused. Simple 17-6. Exhibit B is the victim, Monacy, 5-13. So there we go.
Oh, he asked for that flash. Oh my.
Nice pop-up. Simple. Oh, what? While diving up and down, he connects to Hooksy. Simple just posts a 3K with the Glock. And this could be Na'Vi off the charts on Inferno.
No, and you know, as much as we talk about G2's T side, their CT side's just average, you know, it's like good enough. But and I guess we have to find out about Na'Vi's T side, but they've been one of the teams that have just been getting exponentially better by the game.
Simple is dropping
groups. Yeah, and he's doing, he's helping. He's definitely helping.
20-6.
He's supporting. He's there. He's him. Monacy, on the other hand, not a great game.
There's a chicken stuck in the bleach bottle.
Don't do it.
You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Bleach chicken.
Mm-hmm.
It's like America.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
He's one for the bridge. That's it.
Have you ever seen this? Hunter thought he was safe. He had called for the truce. Look at this third kill from Simple.
Oh my. Oh.
Hits him with the quick up and down right there. Blown away. Love that for Na'Vi. Not so much for G2, but love it for Na'Vi. We get the frag grenades down. Banana JKS 5-7 mid-fight.
Okay.
Let's get weird. Oh, let's get zany, baby. JKS still going down. That flash was good. His damage done. JL's low. Playing with the MP5 SD.
MP5. Is he a man after your own heart?
Man, I'm an MP7.
Oh, yeah, you hate the MP5, right?
Yeah, arch nemesises. Nemesi. Okay, they can recover this.
Yeah, they're in front of the mid-smoke, so there's that.
Natus on his own in the open.
Ooh, timing.
Oh!
Nails it right in the dome. That's bit down, and their intentions known, but there's still 3 CTs that haven't moved that are sitting on B.
Yeah, but JL's got 6 health. Alexi's on 45.
Yeah, but
that shot right there, that took all the wind out of the sails. Look, they're uninspired.
Are they not even going
you
to
want us to
attempt?
peek that kid? Monacy just slammed him in the head with the scout.
Oh, they're not even trying yet. He's got the Mac 10 that he's saving. Is there a better gun to grab on steps? Maybe Simples, AK, potentially. They didn't push down Banana, right?
Owned. No, they did not.
All right, so
they never got all the way down.
2-1 on Ecos.
Oh no,
Okay.
yes they did. They were playing around with weapons. MP5. That'll get jacked. Gobbled up. Well, if we're keeping track,
2-1.
Na'Vi still have the edge in round wins like these. The G2 post one, arguably, when it matters most.
Counter-terrorists win. Isn't that like having a short memory?
Yeah. Maybe it is.
They both trade after pistols.
Causing commotion. JKS gets aggressive down mid with a 5-7. Love it. It's Nico with the MP5. Scout still for Monacy. Ump on Hooksy. Some weird ones. My eyes fall on JL, the AK of Navi's Force Buy. Feigns presence early. That'll keep G2 on their toes. They know about it. One rifle in play, at least. I'm looking at this A site and I'm thinking, JKS solo on short. Put down one of these few T smokes on Arch and that short push could get real lethal real quick.
Okay, Alexi's calling because he hears Nico jumping. Nico false cleared B. They're going to walk up. Site's going to be open. Are they going to do the continuation flash strat? Because that's what I assume with all this active spotting. Oh, yeah, they're done.
Well,
that's
Lexi
it.
calls him over, lets him know exactly what he's about to pull off. And G2's Force Buy win could be all for naught. No smoke on cross.
Whoa.
Alexi gets the gun back out, kills Hooksy, who just made this one really weird.
There's a smoke there. There's smokes on the ground. They just didn't bother.
They thought they had that much timing, but Hooksy put it in 6th.
All right, time to go for it, G2, though. No